Alrighty. Hello, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that little bit of a mashup between just weird fucking anime shit and Slipknot. Because, why not? How are you all doing? How is everyone? Can someone tell me why, in the ever loving fuck, it's 33 degrees Celsius near the end of August instead of September? Like, can somebody actually walk me through why I'm getting text messages on my phone about excessive heat fucking warnings, right? On the 30th of August. Like, what is going on here, Chief? Like, that's no cap. I'm actually like, what in the actual fuck is going on? Dude, I am so sweaty and nasty and tired. Like, you'd need to shower 16 times a day in this motherfucker. God damn it. Fuck me. Oh, yeah. It do be like that sometimes, though, chat. It do be like that. Here's the thing. I wanted to run something by you real quick before we start off with the stream content and, begin with the brain rot and whatnot, which we don't have that much today, but the videos that we do have are rather lengthy, so we'll see how it goes. Because we've got this one, which is the Lio Convoy versus Deviant crowd debate, which is outcome related. So this fucker is going to be, like, as you can see, over an hour long. And we've got this, which is half an hour, which, if this is the story I think it is, then I know what this is about. But we will confirm, we will double check. So we've got a little bit of outcome drama, we've got a little bit of VTuber drama, and we start off with a little bit of sort of political brain rot drama, although I wouldn't really call it politics, but that's neither here nor there. Here's what I wanted to ask you, though. Does anyone at all in my audience, are you guys aware of any service or an app or anything as such? Okay, yeah, my cat's going to activate itself because obviously I'm streaming now. Anything of that variety that you can use for multi-stream chats. Because Restream is a dog shit fucking app, and I spit on its existence, and whoever coded it to work did an atrocious job because it doesn't work. Every single time I turn that piece of shit on, I need to like change all of the YouTube settings because otherwise it keeps thinking I'm just gonna go live with my previous stream again, as though that's possible. Then half the time it doesn't let me change the settings, and so I'm running on like 33% functional Restream. And at this point, I'd rather explore literally any other possibility if it's out there, because either Restream is literally the most dogshit fucking multi-chat thingamajig known to mankind, or I just don't know how to use it properly. Either or could be the case here. I am perfectly willing to accept that maybe it's me, maybe it's a skill issue. However, it is an issue, okay? Might be a skill issue. Why am I so small? Hold on. Why is my cat yelling? What do you want? I'm streaming here. You were behaving the entire day and now you're gonna yap. Ah, oh, the beauty of being an almost functional adult. But yeah, fuck. I wanted to prepare some Twitter brain rot, but there was just one thing that I found that was kind of interesting, which there's been a small mishap on Twitter today with something that I saw, which I found interesting, but I couldn't find it again to show you. Actually, hold on. It shouldn't be that difficult to find because I can probably do a word search, can't I? Twitter has that option. I've put it in the Unhinged channel of my Discord. Let's see if I can find it. It's an e-girl, so I just need to make sure. Here's the question that I have. Is the word lingerie, like, banned on Twitter? Are you not allowed to use that word? Because there are a lot of people who are censoring lingerie, and I don't get why. I genuinely don't understand why. Fuck, I can't find it. Wait, hold on. I don't need to find it. I can just show you. I can show you the link directly, can't I? God, why am I so dumb today? Probably because of the fucking heat. Hey, Loa, thank you very much for gifting Beans a sub. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Here's a small snippet of it, right? I follow a lot of egos on Twitter, as you'd imagine. And one of them posted, I don't know if she does like her own lingerie line or what the, like, I don't know, have the details, okay? I don't know. And she posted it like this. So she did new L, then the fire emoji, and then the end of, the word lingerie, made by me. Here's the thing, though. Oh, Cheeto. That's safe for me to show, right? I can show that on stream. I shouldn't get, like, yoink badoink for that, should I? Do I even follow? Hold on, do I even follow this person? Or do I out myself when I don't? And also, how you doing, Cheeto buddy? How is life? How is everything? No, this isn't even someone I follow. Okay. Never mind. I can show you what I mean now. This is the post, and it goes, Warrior Lady, new lingerie made by me is waiting for you on my... I don't know what word this is even supposed to be. Patreon? No, probably not. But here's the thing. And I noticed this earlier, and I just wanted to run it by some people just to see if I'm maybe too terminally online. Here's the thing you need to know about human brains, okay? And we need some music for this, because holy fuck, it's grim in here. Here's the thing. Here's like an important thing about human brain. We learn how to pick up words based on sort of the grouping of letters. And obviously there's going to be a little bit of subjectivity there, because if you don't know a specific word, then your brain is going to be trained to pick it up. But this, right here, if you just read these letters, lingerie ain't the word that pops to your head, is it? Like, this is just, is it just me? Have I spent too much time on the internet? If you see the letters, Oski, are you telling me that when you see the letters N-G-E-R-I-E, lingerie is what you get from this? You tell me that if you saw this without any other letters, you are hard capping. Hard capping. Hey, Johnson, baby. Johnson, I have something to run by you, okay? Because here's the thing. Icent is hard capping. Hard capping. Do you know how human brains pick up words based on, like, the pairing of letters, Johnson? What? Hold on. Actually, no. You just... Oh, this is why I hate lefties, okay? I hate lefties. Oh, you spineless motherfuckers. Or proper tankies. Imagine trying to run a gay up on me, and you literally just proved my point, because I didn't tell you what word this looks like. I said nothing about what this makes me think of, nothing of what pairing happens in my brain, nothing whatsoever, and then you went, no, Chris, you are just racist. What word is it, Ison? What word is it that makes you racist? That makes me racist, sorry, in your very German opinion, Ison. Come on, Ison. Come on, Diz. Come on, you radical fuckers. Oh, you insinuated it. Did I? Did I insinuate it? This is what I mean. Yeah. Scratch a tanky and a racist bleeds. There we go. I've got my own thing going now. I didn't know what word you were thinking of, Chris. Oh, no, for sure. That's why you decided to call me racist. That's what was happening there. Yeah, I'm sure. Johnson, what do you think? Jesus Christ, Johnson. But also, at least, you're also picking up on what I'm saying. You implied it 100%. I just said, hold on, there is no such thing as implied when it comes to the grouping of letters. Because I said I don't know what this is, and none of you are in here being like, well, actually, Chris, that is a P-Fire emoji World Trade fucking race course that is very well known on the internet as the go-to fucking place to buy your battle dresses in. Yeah, I did this. I said, what word do you think of when you see these letters? That's the whole point that I'm making. I thank you for just completely submitting to my argument. It's good to know. So my point stands that this is like this is a weird way of censoring lingerie, because the L looks like an I here, so I don't know what's going on here. The fire emoji is just fire emoji, and then all I'm left with is N-G-E-R-I-E. Yeah, but Chido, that's what I was thinking earlier, but I don't think so, right? Like, it can't be Patreon. Because that makes no sense. The only reason why I thought Patreon is because there's a P. You agree with everything. You literally... Well, thank you. Thank you for... Well done. There we go. Another debate won. Immediately fucking backtracked your entire argument. Oh. Easy, man. Easy. One sec. Responding to some DMs. Okay, so that is supposed to be Patreon. Right, not only... I am genuinely amazing. I am a fucking gift to humanity. Not only was I immediately proven correct on this by the non-racist chatters, right? Because no one does the virtue signaling louder than you lot. I was then also correct with my reading of this, that this is somehow supposed to be Patreon. Which I have no idea what the fuck is going on with this combination here. How is this... Cheeto, how is this supposed to be Patreon? Do you have any ideas? What are we... Okay, the P makes sense. That one's self-explanatory. Then it's a fire emoji. WTR? There's no W in Patreon. Lingerie is spelled more or less correctly. It's just a fuck-up with how, like, spaced out the emoji, the emote makes it. There is no creation diz, you immediately submitted. And also, don't tell them, Lua, don't tell them because they will immediately change their tune. Don't tell them. Let them sit in it. Let them boil in it, you know? Let it fester. I know how these people operate, okay? You tell them now that there is another person who is like sharing more of their politics and a woman that's agreed with me, and they will immediately walk back all of their takes, okay? Don't do it, Lua. Don't do it. I will hold this over them. Your porn is on stream again? Yeah, and it's off stream as well, bucko. I've got fucking bookmarks on top of bookmarks. How you doing, Grackle? But yeah, that's all I wanted to say about this, is that this was an interesting choice. The spacing that the fire emoji causes here is just... I don't know. But also, the broader point that I wanted to get to, but we couldn't even because of you virtue signalers, okay, is why is lingerie, like, not allowed on Twitter? Does it do this thing that happens when you put the word cisgender in, where it just, like, deboosts your algorithm thingamajig, like your outreach? Is that actually... That can't be true. There's no shot. Hold on. Lingerie. No, I just tweeted out the word lingerie and it works fine. Did I misspell it or something? I have no idea. I genuinely no clue. It's so strange, man. And also, yeah, restream, again, doesn't work. So if there are going to be any YouTube messages that I don't pay attention to, if anyone can just, you know, kind of lurk in there now and then, I'd appreciate that very much. But nothing, you know, no pressure either way. I think Elon said he was going to consider sissy slur. That's already a thing, Johnson. If you tweet out the word cisgender, you get a little notification saying that, like, your post has limited visibility, or it was a thing briefly. I don't know if it still is. It's probably a precaution to avoid common keywords from being associated with that account /porn/bot. But this is basic. This is... Bro, why are you doing this when... I hate people, okay? I hate people, I hate people, I hate people. Here's another thing that I hate. Hassan, alright? Let's give this a listen.
Because of my audience is like, I talk to labor leaders, community organizers on a daily basis.
No, you don't. On a daily basis? Bro, who are you trying to fool here?
Position, and because of my audience is like, I talk to labor leaders, community organizers on a daily basis. They're in my community. I hear what their problems are. I know what my struggle used to look like not that long ago in terms of, like, my own personal finances, having to budget everything.
Oh,
obviously, the EGG are over here. We've already spoken about this. Why does Hassan keep doing this? Why does he keep, like, saying that he used to have financial struggles? This is the thing, I don't understand this. Hassan streams for like 9 hours a day. If you watch Hassan, you can literally find every single VOD from the time period where he's saying that he used to like struggle financially, where he's getting food DoorDash to him every single day. It's bizarre for him to keep doing this whole like, I know what it's like to struggle financially, when he doesn't. He never did, and it's okay that he doesn't. It's okay that he didn't. I don't wish on people to know what it is like to struggle financially, but it is bizarre when your claim of struggling financially isn't because you're struggling to pay for groceries, but it's because you order private taxi for your burrito every single day. Maybe just don't do that. Maybe don't get Uber for your burrito, okay? Maybe just make something at home. It's weird. And I still live you. Wasn't he like upper middle class at his worst? His family, my understanding of his like family finances from Turkey is that like, if there was a prominent leftist movement in Turkey that complains about rich people getting all of the tax breaks and complaining about basically how like the unfair sort of reality of capitalism, if there was a movement that is spearheading this sort of attack on obscenely rich, Hassan's parents would have been the target of that attack. Like when he moved to America, he was making, what was it, 60,000 a year doing fucking like Red Pill-esque videos for Cheng, while his entire university fees were paid for by his parents, you know what I mean? Like, and that's fine. Again, that's fine. But why are you saying that, like, why are you doing this thing, Hassan? What's the point of this?
Oh my God, kill me. Was this when you, with two rich parents, when you decided to come to the United States after being rich in Turkey, and then you came to the US to be rich in the US, and then you worked? Remember how hard it was? To be fair, Hassan's job, his first job was, he was only making $60,000 a year to make videos for social media while having his college and everything taken care of by his rich mom and dad. So that was kind of a struggle, I guess.
Okay, hold on. I don't want to watch this if Destiny's just going to be repeating my talking points. What the fuck? Which, to be fair, those are probably Destiny's talking points that I'm repeating from way back when, but still, it counts.
These are financial problems not so far removed from my immediate experience. Obviously now I'm in a dramatically different situation overall, but an Anderson Cooper might have never actually experienced those issues his entire life because he's a secret Vanderbilt.
That's you! That's you, bro! That's who you are! You are that guy!
Beans, I will challenge you on
the pictures that you showed to prove that you were fat as a kid is you like dressed up in a suit on a horse. Or, my bad, maybe that's just an ordinary Turkish education. Maybe everybody there wears nice uniforms and...
Destiny is also that guy. Destiny doesn't pretend to be poor. Destiny doesn't claim that he used to have financial issues that he didn't have. When he's talking about the financial issues that he used to have, he's referring to the point in his life where his job, his full-time employment, was being a carpet cleaner. Right? Carpet cleaners are not, like, they're not known for being like, you know, the upper middle class sorts of people. I'm challenging you on what you just said, Beans, okay? This is like one of my favorite fucking e-girls on Twitter. No cap, but that's because the cosplays that she does are really good. I'm not going to pretend like she's not attractive as hell as well, but it's genuinely the cosplays. Look at this shit. Look how good this is. See, and you're saying it's one of the rules that sexy or non-practical armor is not allowed. Look at this. She's wearing proper plate is what she's wearing. What's... I don't know what motivated this, but fuck me. I've seen a few of those and they're amazing. I think we've even, like, we've simped over this before. I remember talking to Lua about it, but it might have been in my Discord. But yeah, this is some proper nice shit.
And rides horses all day. I don't know that much about Turkish life. I'll be honest. I've never been there.
Catharsis going over a 75 stream streak. Sexy is subjective and Chris is it. Let's fucking go. How you doing, Cassie?
Before. Maybe that's the norm. Maybe everybody does that. That's why they hate the fucking birds so much. They're trying to take their horses away from all the children. Who knows? Jesus. Didn't your family have a family horse? Yeah, a few years ago when they moved to their dumb place. We did take horseback riding lessons as kids, though.
I
But my
know,
family was
Beans, I
upper middle class
know.
until I was like 13. I don't lie about that. I don't know how I wasn't spoiled as, because right up to that point, our parents got us anything. I had. Ooh, that doesn't feel good. I was gonna say I had every console up to the PlayStation 2, but I guess that's not very many consoles anymore because there's so many more of them.
Oh, no, he's
But back
realized he's
then,
old.
okay.
Yeah. There was a complex of streamers who were also coaxing ETH in certain ways as well. Exactly.
To be fair, I will say I enjoy watching this whole like Destiny Hassan fucking like the terminal permanent battle that will literally never end. And I understand that Destiny has moments where he comes across as unhinged, but Hassan, like, bro, you cannot tell me that like Hassan isn't 20 times worse when like I don't know if you guys remember this. I know that some of you will remember it very closely because some of you were the ones feeding me screenshots where this was happening. When Hassan was beefing with Ethan Klein from H3H3 over the Israel-Palestine stuff, Hassan's community was fucking unhinged. Like, genuinely diabolical. The thread is probably still somewhere in my Discord. We just have to dig it up because I think it's somewhere where, like, just screenshots on top of screenshots on top of screenshots just from Hassan's chat of people like being mental. Like, dude, death threats would have been preferred to like that level of vitriol. Like, and that was Hassan's community. Hassan, I don't want anyone to forget this. Hassan's community was so fucking aggressive towards Ethan that Ethan was literally begging Hassan to moderate his chat, to which Hassan was saying that like his chat is only that way because Ethan like comes across like that type of person that they think he is and therefore criticizing. And then when Hassan finally budged and put his chat in emote only mode, Hassan's moderators, who still had the ability to type with full sentences, were then the ones throwing insane vitriol at Ethan. And one of them being Frogan, right? You will remember all of this because we've covered it. And for Hassan to now be here and say that, like, oh yeah, one of the reasons why Leftovers fell apart is because DGG out there was, they were interfering and they were like they were just adding olive to the fire. Like, bro, shut the fuck. You did. Just take some accountability. What the fuck? After OCD clicking on everything, your About Me Twitter link is broken. Link. Oh, I will double check that. Thank you for letting me know, Silly. I don't use Twitter very much, but that will be linked to my old handle.
Like they made clips about me fucking crying and then blasted it everywhere, making fun of me and being like, dude, imagine like he's fake crying. It's hard. It's hard to.
I like how.
I mean,
Hassan's way of explaining that Leftovers ended and how it was actually DGG's fault, because, by the way, we're the source of all evil on the internet. We're the reason why the genocide is still happening in Palestine, by the way. I like how the explanation is just Ethan is such a fucking retard. He's so stupid and retarded that DGG and Destiny brainwashed him, mind-raped him into thinking that Hassan is a bad guy, when actually Hassan was a good guy the whole time. It was all DGG's insidious planning behind the scenes, and Ethan being a fucking retard. That's the story that Hassan wants to roll with. Okay.
That was a weird ass time, dude. It is what it is. But I think it was, there was a lot of cultist losers, Cultist losers who just spend every waking moment online. And
you stream like 9 hours a day, bro. What? Hello?
Don't know how like normal people operate, you know what I mean?
Yeah? Tell us more, please.
They don't understand like normal human emotion. It's the same principle behind dudes who are like, dude, he got so owned by that.
Normal human emotion? Like you implying that Rittenhouse, some 17-year-old kid that was in a gunfight, ended up killing 2 people, must have been faking tears. Meanwhile, you're up here being like, oh, there was a funeral and they shot at the funeral and it was so sad.
But of an ego to think anyone blames Destiny as community for Israel. No shot you didn't understand that was a joke, Grackle.
And
rip the Palestinian flag.
Oh my God, he's they ripped the Palestinian. Get the out of here, dude.
What a fucking bitch.
You know,
That one guy who turned out to be a fucking ginormous racist, he got IRL cyberbullied. It's like, bro, how do you say that? How do you openly write that?
What does it mean to be IRL cyberbullied?
Online without feeling a fucking
Shamelessness.
honest to God, I don't think any singular human being legitimately believes this.
Believes
okay?
what?
Let me just say this. Like I think it's crazy that they put me below, like they're saying like InfoWars, OAN, and Hasanabi, like two sides of the same coin. I'm sorry, dude. If you consider to me, if you, honest to God, I don't think any.
I think it means online bullied mixed with doxing. I would never do the like doxing such a disservice as to like call it IRL cyberbullying. That just feels like downplaying something really fucking nasty.
Singular human being legitimately believes this. Okay, let me just say this. I don't think a person actually unironically goes like, Hassan, you are basically like the left-wing equivalent of Alex Jones. Like I know that like Destiny's community tries to say that all the time, which is kind of funny because I'm literally at the DNC right now.
Hold on, don't we call him left-wing Steven Crowder? I thought we called him left-wing Steven Crowder more than left-wing Alex Jones. No.
And I have interviewed journalists and politicians who have openly been like, I'm a fan of you and I love what you're doing. So I think that like puts it into perspective a little bit when you see so many journalists come up and be like, yeah, I love your work. Maybe that puts it into
Journalists in big air quotes there.
a little bit of a different framework for a lot of fucking losers online who constantly are like, yo, you're the same as Alex Jones. But like, still, regardless of that equation, okay, the fact that like someone would be like, oh bro, you're the Alex Jones of the left, like, dude, this guy got a $1 billion like defamation suit for directly contributing to the plight of Sandy Hook school shooting victim families. Like, what are you saying? If you
Jesus, I remember that court case. Oh man, wild shit there. It's these. Maybe we should start watching court cases. Does that sound like content you guys are remotely interested in? How many of you are aware of the fucking like the whole shit that happened with Giuliani in court, where Giuliani admitted to lying and then said it was his First Amendment right to lie knowingly? Like, bro, some weird fucking shit is happening with court cases. Now we've got the entire, like, the Nick Riccietta still. Shit is still happening. Those court cases are being live streamed. Like, dude, there is a lot of just weird shit when it comes to court cases. I feel like that's potentially a trove of content.
can find anything that is like, if you can find anything, and I'm being really genuine right now, if you can find anything that is even remotely like anything that is 1/10 as bad as that I have done,
1/10 as bad as Sandy Hook, because I don't know if I don't know how you'd rank this, but I have a few ideas. I have a few things I'd like to sort of throw out there and see how they stick. How about the, like, do you guys remember when Hassan kept making just really incorrect war predictions about Ukraine, and then he would refuse to talk to any Ukrainians about it because obviously he'd rather get his knowledge out of fucking TikTok headlines, only to then accuse Ukrainians of committing war crimes when that is not what was happening. And then when Dylan Burns made a video where he showed Hassan's takes to a bunch of Ukrainians, Hassan started ranting about how Dylan Burns is like a subhuman piece of shit war tourist pedophile, and he doesn't care what Ukrainians have to say about his takes on Ukraine. I don't know if that's like 1/10 as bad as denying that Sandy Hook happened, but I mean, it's pretty fucking bad.
It's off to you. 1/10, which would not put me under Alex Jones or under Breitbart, okay?
Wow.
Anyway, ultimately it doesn't really matter because, like I said, this is just like something that people love posting about on Twitter, but that's it. Okay, that's it. Who is the LeBron James are streaming? I am. What is this? Israel ranks #1 new list of non-apartheid countries that are...
Wait, somebody said he mentioned something about suing me. Was that a lie? Did you just say that to get me to click this stupid video?
Fun to visit. Caucasians all over the world has voted Israel as #1 non-apartheid country to visit this summer.
What is this article? Israel ranks #1 in new list of non-apartheid countries that are fun to visit. Caucasians all over the world have voted. This has to be like a shitpost, right? There's a non-apartheid list of countries we like to visit? What's going on there?
Anyway. It's like an Onion article, dude. It's not real, by the way. That's a meme.
Wants to take part.
Do you have thoughts on such like Ground to Sword articles by bias? Ground News seems fine. I don't really know anything about Ground News in general. I've like never worked with them. I know they sponsor a lot of people.
Yeah, okay. The poor shit is basically done. All right, chat. Moving on. I think I want to do the VTuber stuff first, and then after the VTuber shit, we can move on to Lio having his old bizarre debate. I have another video called The Penis Iceberg, but I don't know if we'll get to it, and I don't know if we'll go through it if we even get to it. Because again, I'm going to be honest with you, with a weather like this, like my desire for anything is basically dead. But what isn't dead is my desire to plug my own shit. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Number one. Sorry. I made a video. It's, I like it. I received the comments that pacing is a little bit slow because I actually genuinely slowed myself down. There are bits and bobs here. There are moments, I wonder if any of you were able to pick out on them. There are moments where you can tell when I've restarted like editing a segment or something because I start speaking fast and then I slow down midway through because I'm like catching myself in real time that I'm talking too quickly again. But that notwithstanding, I made a video, a 46 fucking minute long video about the Bungo Tiger situation. Bungo Tiger, to those of you who are not aware, is a pretty controversial YouTuber who was banned pretty recently, actually, permabanned off of YouTube, over many allegations that are to do with being a general sort of piece of shit, and then pedophilia sprinkled on top of it. Now, the pedophilia stuff is mostly related to him being a shotacon, which obviously I'm a pro shipper, you know my takes on that stuff. But the reason why I felt like making a video about it, and the reason why I thought it was a pretty good topic to talk about, to give you a small TLDR, and if I go on a break, I'll play a few minutes of this just so we can get a taste, is basically ex-community members from Bungo Tiger's community made a document alleging a whole bunch of shit against Tiger. Then Tiger got into quite a few controversies. A few big VTubers, without critically checking the document, sort of jumped on the bandwagon, Nookstaku being one of them, and they made Tiger's life very, very difficult after that, because obviously who wants to support a predator after they allege that he is one? What happened afterwards is a fucking guardian angel came out of nowhere, an independent investigator who made another document that exonerated Tiger. People picked up on that document very quickly, and everyone started making videos about how actually all of the allegations are false, they come from like actual pieces of shit, and everything was, you know, a-okay, above board, and he shouldn't have gotten banned. Except the exoneration document is kind of fucking shit, actually. It's riddled with issues, it's riddled with errors. The whole thing from start to finish gives off like this bizarre vibe of bias that the more you read into it, the more you get confirmed that this is actually biased as fuck, but somehow no one's talking about it. Or, well, not that many people are. Rev made videos defending Tiger, people on the internet keep making videos defending Tiger, when in reality it looks like Tiger, whilst not a nonce, actually is a bit of a piece of shit. And on top of that, there is so much weird shit, weird DMs, and just bizarre stuff from start to finish that if you don't believe that he isn't a nonce and you just want to distance yourself from him, I can't blame you. It's a good video, in my opinion, but then again, I think that all of my shit is good, so that's... Am I live, guys? Am I streaming? My bitrate on Twitch is saying offline, and I got a little bit worried. I am live, right? Yeah, you can hear me. I have no idea what's going on here. Why is Twitch being weird? And hey Eli, how you doing? Okay, I think we're all good. I have no idea why Twitch is just being weird again. But yeah, it's a pretty long video, but there are, you know, it's time-stamped, and I give a broad overview of the situation, which if you already know what's happening, you can skip to the 18:15-ish mark, and then, you know, it's only a 30-minute video at that point. So, If that sounds like something you would enjoy, knock yourselves out. I would really appreciate it if you click the thumbs up, if you left a comment as well, because that boosted in the algorithm. And yeah, please watch it. That's the first part of the shilling. Second part of the shilling, I believe, at least according to Twitch, Subtember, is that what they call it? Subtember should be live, so your subs should be cheaper, and you should be getting more value out of them, whilst I still get the full amount of cash money. So if you ever felt like doing multi-donos, now is the perfect time. We are also $400 away from meeting the goal, right? The dentistry stuff. I went and got 2 of my teethies fixed yesterday. So if I sound a little bit lispy, that will be why, although I shouldn't, because it went fine. And I have another visit in 2 weeks. So yeah, if you, generally speaking, wanted to throw money at me, here's a few valid reasons. And here's another reason. Today is the last stream of August. So any money you give me, I'm going to get pretty soon. Fixing teeth is such a stone of your heart. Yeah, not when I have to pay as much as I do. I mean, look, I'm happy to get it done, and I'm happy that it's being sponsored by you guys, actually, but fucking hell, it's so ridiculously expensive. Yeah. It's just like every time I go, it's like $200 to $300 a pop. It's fucking wild. And hey, Johnson, happy birthday. It's Johnson's birthday, everyone. I thought Europe had free healthcare. I mean, depends on what you mean by free healthcare. That's not how any of it works, more or less. But hey, look, that's a bit of a long conversation. Everyone say happy birthday to Johnson. He's getting geriatric, 36 years old. But yes, 2 VTubers walk into a bar and bully someone. Let's give it a listen.
Twitter is an absolute cesspool of a website. I think we can all agree on that. But like any other website, it does have an algorithm that tries to find what interests you and pushes it right in your face to make you stay there longer. Now yes, I follow a bunch of VTubers, they follow me back. It assumes that I'm interested in VTubers, and you know what? I am. I mean, clearly, just look at my channel. And thanks to this algorithm, sometimes it'll feel like a coliseum, where I'll scroll down on my feed and see 2 VTubers I've never heard of fight to the death over accusations. Most of the time, it's very trivial things that can be ignored, but sometimes there are some ridiculous controversies, and that's exactly what happened in this situation. This involves a partnered streamer with almost 40,000 followers. And unlike a lot of my other videos, there's no need to be neutral here at all because this person's actions are unjustifiable. It's impossible to defend her. She's terrible. But it wasn't just Baybub, it was also her friends, including but not limited to another partnered streamer.
Okay, just so I want you guys to keep this in mind. If this is what I think it is, yeah, this is the Dead by Daylight shit. Okay, I want you to keep in mind when you listen to what she said, when you listen to what happened, she got unbanned after getting banned in less than, I believe, 48 hours. And is currently back to streaming on Twitch like nothing ever happened. So just keep in mind, this is just how it goes.
By the name of Antan, who is equally, if not more, terrible. This is the standard internet villain story. 2 very unlikable people did something bad, they tried to double down on it, and eventually only apologized because they felt forced to. It's hilariously bad, so let's get right into it. So typically, when a Twitch partner gets banned, the automated account by the name of Streamer Bans will let everyone know about it. This is exactly what happened on August 10th, 2024. Baybub got banned for the first time on Twitch. But this isn't how the majority of people found out about her being banned. Now yes, she had made a post saying, I got banned on Twitch for 7 days for things I did not do. A small Dead by Daylight creator got very hostile towards me and my friends who played against him, and he nitpicked lines and made it all that I said it. I'm with my family right now.
Oh no, it has a community note on it.
Now, so I will appeal and get more into this later.
Hey guys, we are at the very start of a video about 2 VTuber bullies, cry bullies actually, so strap on in.
The thread does go on and we'll get to it, but most people still didn't find out about this through this tweet. They found out about it by someone quote tweeting this with exactly what she did to the smaller streamer. This was the tweet that most people aware of this saw in their Twitter feed by Spookin' Jukes, quote tweeting that tweet we just saw from Bub and saying, "You deserve to be banned. You and Antan Desu are both Twitch partners, and you, along with your friends, shamed a streamer with 700 followers because you lost a match of Dead by Daylight. You also
I cannot stress this enough. All of this drama is over Dead by Daylight, which is like, I've played it maybe once. That game looks so shit. Watching people play it looks so shit. Listening to the lore around it looks so shit. And it's this that caused the entire. It's like the fucking beautiful era of 2011 YouTube again, where people are like being racist to each other over video games. It's just like people don't shout the N-word at the top of their lungs anymore. We live in an enlightened time.
pulled up his stream while live and all harassed him in his chat. Pathetic. Linking a clip 1 minute 22 seconds long. In it, you'll see exactly why she got banned and exactly why she was getting so much hate. Watch, it's crazy.
4K hours and they're streaming this gameplay, bro. I'm so sure nobody is gonna get entertained by this.
They're a streamer?
Yep.
I'ma go annoy them. Of course he's a white man.
I want to see the chat. I want to see
This
the chat.
guy.
Hold on, let's see. Why are we being so
I
sad?
did not hump anyone this match.
Why you sit
I'm
on
gonna put the vote
single
up. You can check it
gen?
yourself. Well, you sit on single gen. There were 3 fucking gens left on the map. 1 gen was 99. Your amount of viewers and
guy's so
streaming
full
and you
of
people
shit,
like this,
bro.
man. I did not hump a single person. Can you clip me? Link the clip where I humped. Link it.
I'm gonna close their tab. It's not fun. This guy is whining like a little bitch and does not want to admit anything they're doing. He's got
That's
some
small
issues.
behavior. It's okay, it happens. That's why you only have 18 viewers.
Yeah, true. It's 2 partnered streamers in a single chat. It's too much for him to handle, unfortunately.
You open his stream, the first
Who am I supposed to hate here, Chris? From now on, I hate everyone, and I'm just waiting to hear more stuff. Here's the issue, and hopefully the dude makes a decent job of explaining these things. A lot of these games, and it used to be the same with CS:GO and shit. A lot of these games have like their own inner culture and their own inner rules. For Honor is a great example of this, actually, where you can do a bunch of things that, like, within the rules of the game, they're perfectly fine. But like, you shouldn't do those for X, Y, and Z reasons. I don't know if that's what the dude was alluding to when he I think he was talking about teabagging. Currently, I dislike these two for just the way how they're attacking him. You would roll with this if it happened to you, wouldn't you? My modus operandi in video games is way different. That's why I don't like playing competitive games on stream, because I can't play them the way these people do. I really don't like this thing that games sometimes do, where they create their own rules, like good behavior conduct, and then they shit on anyone who doesn't follow that good behavior conduct. If I'm playing a competitive game like Dead by Daylight or like For Honor, I'm gonna do everything I can do to win. I don't give a shit that it's not allowed to teabag you, or that I'm not allowed to ledge you, or that I'm not allowed to do any number of other things that are like, you're not supposed to do those to be like a good player. I want to win. That's why I'm playing the fucking game. I get competitive in these kinds of games. That's why I don't like playing them with people I know, because I don't like what I'm like when I play them with people I know. But I can't help being that way, because when it comes to that stuff, I just dislike how they create a secondary set of rules and just force everyone to follow them. It's so fucking annoying, man. But I don't even know if that's what's happening here, right? Because we're sort of at the very precipice of this happening. Chris throws the entire table during games of Monopoly. No, that's not what I do. I will give you an example of what I do. When I used to play League of Legends, when I used to play ranked games in League, I would... I do this when I argue with people. I used to do this when I'd argue with people. I moved away from doing that because I don't like that part of my personality. In League, what I would do is every time I would kill someone, I would bully them in all chat. every single time. The more tilted they would get, the dumber they would play, and the higher my chances of victory would be getting. I would be like, I would explain this strategy to my team at the start, and I would make sure that my team doesn't get tilted, because I'd be really nice to them and just talk to them and explain that, like, we've got this, we can win. But the moment any enemy made any stupid mistake, I was there in all chat just laughing at them. And I don't want to be like that when I'm streaming, so I just don't play these kinds of games when I stream. It's not a good look. It's just not a good look.
You say,
but also, I don't cry when people do that stuff to me.
like, oh, of course it's a white guy. I'm like,
Dumbo looking white man.
oh boy.
Like, it wasn't racist. I just, you know, he looks very privileged, and he uses the way he talks tells a lot about how much privilege he has.
Bro, you've listened to like 16 seconds of a stream. Do you want to calm the fuck down?
Pre-pubescent white boy.
Yeah.
I said that his penis is very small.
What a bunch of wholesome people, right?
Seems like
Let's
a
get
very
into this
enjoyable
mess.
stream
So
to
look,
be in.
Dead by Daylight's a very popular game. I'm sure you know how it works. Just in case you don't, there's 4 players trying to avoid a killer, right? The quote-unquote smaller streamer, Napnide, is the killer, and he's after Bub and her 3 friends. He quite literally wiped the floor with them, okay? He absolutely destroyed them. And additionally, they were accusing him of humping them, which is the equivalent of something like teabagging.
It is. They were crying because they thought he's teabagging them. Oh my... This is... It's children. These are children in the bodies of adults that, like... I fucking hate them. I don't care what this dude did anymore. I hate those 2 VTubers and the fucking simp that they're having in there. Like, keep motivating them by saying that the other guy's got a small dick. Because, like, he's got his 2 minutes of fucking shine in front of the VTuber goddess. I hate all of these people, man.
Games like Halo or Call of Duty, it's seen as toxic. So they went to his stream to, I mean, you know, there's no other way to say it, harass him. They started typing in his chat. They started saying very mean things that we'll get into later. But I mean, honestly, what they just said on stream was insane. Like, the first thing you say is, of course, he's a white guy. Like, what? This was, of course, said by Antan, who is the other partner streamer in this equation, along with Baybub. So first thing she says is something about his skin color, then says he is privileged just from the tone of his voice, whatever the hell that means, whatever the hell that means. Then making fun of his view count, saying that, oh, him
Hey, Ruby,
seeing
how you
2
doing?
partnered badges in his chat made him too stressed out, it seems. Which is so ironic because that actually sounds like something a privileged person would say, right? The whole thing was done in very poor taste, and that's not how a partnered streamer should behave at all. It goes against TOS on Twitch. Not only does harassment go against TOS, but also as a streamer, especially a partnered streamer, when you talk badly about another streamer on the platform, you also face special consequences.
Everything about this is pathetic, Johnson. And also, and I will say this because that seems to be the case, but we'll double check if that's actually what's happening. Or I hope this person double checks and we can just watch. This is another reason why I hate like those, like the secondary rules, like the acceptable colloquial code of conduct, if you will. So in this game, apparently you're not allowed to teabag people because then they get pissy if you do. I understand that, right? Teabagging people is like a dickhead thing to do. You do that to tilt people on purpose. It's like a dominance thing, right? Like you want to show them how good you are type of thing. It's pathetic, sure. But it looks like the guy, at least from what he said, the implication is that he wasn't actually doing it. So here's what happened. They played against him. He was the monster. They were the 4 survivors. He wiped the floor with them, apparently. He didn't teabag them. At least that's my understanding of the story so far. And then because teabagging is seen as this thing you're not supposed to do, they think they got teabagged. And now they're crying about the fact that he teabagged them whilst also being like weirdly racist. The whole thing is just fucking strange. What's the point of any of this? Like, why can't these people be normal?
Like maybe a longer...
You're talking to Chido about For Honor. I think Chido was inquiring about Dead by Daylight, the game in the video.
ban. So their reasoning was he was being toxic. He was humping them after killing them, which is why they were so mean to him. But Spook and Jukes also included this reply showing that actually this was all fabricated. There was no humping at all. Watch. Here's the killer.
And then you do that.
And they're saying that was humping.
What?
Then you hump me, okay.
What?
He picked her up. He's supposed to pick her up. That's what you do in Dead by Daylight. You have to, like, you pick up the survivors and then you put them on the meat hook thingy.
What?
Come on.
And this is his point of view. This is him.
You're dead. Roses
He
are
was
red,
just
my
trying to
face.
pick her up.
What the fuck?
She was crawling and he was just trying to pick her up. That's humping. That's like the equivalent of teabagging. In what world? I don't know. So this leads us back to Baybub's tweet, which was her saying, oh, no, what I said was out of context. I'm being harassed. This is a hate campaign against me. By the way, she got community noted if you didn't notice. Bub the Law was caught on clips harassing the other streamer and also using racist remarks of course, it's a white man. Linking the clip we saw from Spook and Jukes. I do want to quickly point out that the community note is wrong here. The person who said, of course it's a white man, was Antan, not Baybub, but everything else is correct. Baybub then continues.
What's up, Chido?
As soon as the game was over, me and my friends moved on, but this person kept talking about me making up things I don't understand. Why am I being punished for something where I am not in the wrong? This feels very wrong and unfair, Twitch support. I will be appealing with my point of view tomorrow. Yet another community note shows up here saying, Bub is deliberately lying. They were talking about him in the next games as well. Linking the same clip, and I think this is referencing how even after the game ended, in the end game screen,
Nobody does, Thais. Well, no, that's a lie, actually. Do you know who does understand it perfectly fine? Racist people do. It's just, there's like this aura, although they didn't get away with it, so obviously I'm happy to see that this isn't really as much of a case as fucking people on the internet make it out to be. But it's sort of the idea that like you get away with being like this towards white people. I mean, she didn't, and fucking very good that she didn't. It's just bizarre to even bring it up. Like, over Dead by Daylight again. I want to... Bro, Dead by Daylight, this isn't even like CSGO, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't even like the esports shit. Or maybe Dead by Daylight does have esports, does it? Like, I have no fucking idea about this game. What other game was mentioned in this segment besides Dead by Daylight and League of Legends? I was earlier talking about hyper-competitive games that have their own, like, culture within the, like, the rules, and I brought up For Honor as an example of one of those games. And when Diz was talking to you about, like, the duos and the 4v4s, he was talking about For Honor, not Dead by Daylight.
they were still talking about him. Then Baybub said, person who claims I said the quoted below.
I just got here. Can someone explain what's happening? Here's a super quick TLDR says, 2 VTuber partners played Dead by Daylight. They lost, and the person who they lost against turns out to be a small streamer, so they started being racist and started bullying him because they lost and they were unhappy about losing. This is literally the TLDR of this story. One of them got banned and then started lying about why they got banned and how, like, everyone's against them, and they got community noted repeatedly.
Are not right. Certain cited things were never said by any of my friends. I did say only he has probably small dick by sitting on a single generator, or that he seems like an asshole, but that is the only things that came out of my mouth. As you can see...
Also, I love immediately throwing your friends under the bus. You say nothing when she's being racist, you just sit there and laugh, and then when you get banned and people are angry with you and community nodes get it wrong by saying you were the racist one, then suddenly my is very capitalized, you know? It's very, like, make sure you know that it wasn't me.
The accusations here...
No. For Honor is not remotely similar to Dead by Daylight. It just has it's a very competitive game, but they're not competitive in the same way.
That she and her friends said all these things. There's a lot of things here that I personally have not heard from the clips that were shared. So some things might be exaggerated, but honestly, at this point, they don't have to be exaggerated because what
I think it is racist. I think it's the purest form of racism, Eli, because like it just change white for any other ethnicity and like see what it sounds like.
I've heard already is enough to deem her a terrible person. Then she says, I would like to also say that this person, and just so you know, when she says person here, she means the person she harassed. She says, this person kept encouraging their audience to come over to my stream to report me and making allegations that I sent army from my stream to his chat, which is a lie. The only people who came to his chat was Xim, Antan, and then after 2 minutes, myself. Again, dude, it's like, you harassed someone, you were mean to them. Honestly, if he actually told his audience to go report you, he's in the right. Let's just make that one clear. Then she continues, also kind of funny that this person suddenly is hiding their VODs private and subs only. Surely they have nothing to hide in this VOD. Why would they make VODs private otherwise? As of August 23rd, they're not. Hers are though. I wonder why. One last thing, though this wrongful ban from that person, I don't support or encourage people in going after the person that got me banned. Yeah, it's upsetting, but I don't want you guys going hunting them down or wish them death threat. This will get resolved, if not we meet again in 7 days. So yeah, the classic don't harass them guys, even though that's literally what you did to get banned. This is so ironic, dude. It's so stupid. And of course, I don't think there's a single reply here that is siding with her, okay? There's not a single one. Everyone is against her, saying, no, we caught you in 4K. There's no way you actually stand by this. Like, actually crazy. And on the post from the streamer bans account saying that Baybub got banned, you can see her partnered streamer friend Antan saying, totally not deserved. One idiot encouraged his viewers to mass report her for a game is such a joke. Again, really not making.
What do these people do to have like an established follower base? Because I'm guessing if you're a partner, you basically do this for a living, right? What do they do? Like, these are fucking idiots so very clearly. What do they do for like? It's the boober, isn't it? I know I'm sounding pretty ignorant right about now, and I'm making a lot of assumptions based on literally like 10 minutes of familiarity. But I'm just saying, like, it's... I don't doubt that they're entertaining, but like, it's the anime titties. I'm telling you right now, okay? When I do my re-debut, I'm getting anime titties, right? If anyone wants to start chucking money my way for that, the first thing you're gonna get are anime booba, okay? I promise to you. Proper fucking childbirthing hips and massive titties. You have that guaranteed, all right? Paired with my smooth, silky voice, it's gonna be so good. Oh, I promise.
It better for her. Or
it's not the booba many unsuccessful people love booba. It's not. I know, silly. It's just, I don't know. I get annoyed at shit like this because, like, obviously the reality probably is that they make just regular sort of let's play video game types feels good man to watch streams. They have an established community because they probably network with other people and they might be quite pleasant to spend time around with outside of this controversy. It's just this controversy made them seem like genuine pieces of shit, and the sort of easiness with which they jumped to, oh, it must have been a white man, leaves a really bad taste in my mouth. So I felt like diminishing their achievements. And I will do it again.
Or for her friend. And then added, totally unfair to see Twitch support siding with someone who is lying about everything.
They seem like very small partners. I'm guessing that they got it in an abnormal way. I'm not sure. Keep in mind that they're in sub only and they're still getting like 300 views per VOD. So that's at least 300 subscribers. And on top of that, if these might be, I would have to double check, but there are a lot of people who I keep forgetting that COVID was a thing. And a lot of people are streaming through COVID, and streaming was really good during COVID. And a lot of people grew like mad during COVID.
And still get punished for speaking back. Free my girl, she's all I have, what the fuck. So both Antan and Baybub were doubling down on this, even though we had clips. Like, we heard everything, we saw everything. The dude didn't do anything. He's just a smaller streamer who is better than you at a video game. They still were doubling down here. And now everyone caught wind of this, right? Many drama channels were talking about it in VTubing circles. A lot of people were aware of this, and they were not gonna let them get away with it. As all of this was going on, Napnight, the streamer who was harassed in this situation, posted this statement replying to Baybub's initial tweet, saying this: giving my 2 notes about this since I am again getting messages, follows, and join requests of your viewers on my server. I just want to be left alone, just like I wanted to be left alone then. Victimizing yourself and twisting the truth here is not doing any good. At the end of the day, you came to my stream while viewing it in yours when I said, good games, well played, and told that you guys were very good at the game and gave me quite a tough match. Your co-streamers also mentioned that they want to come and annoy me in your live stream beforehand. You quickly joined her in my chat with malicious intent. Your co-streamers mentioned that I should get shot hours after matching up with me while you hyped her. All this just because you lost in a video game. So I should mention here, I didn't see this clip, but
I will say, here's the thing. I'm going to say something not so pleasant about him, and then I'm going to back up where I actually side with him 100%. Obviously, this entire like, oh, you said I should get shot. That's like a huge fucking bitch energy, right? No one gives a fuck that someone said you should have gotten shot, like in a video game. Well, they probably meant it IRL, but after like a salty match in a video game, no one gives a flying fuck. I don't give a fuck. The person making this video doesn't give a fuck. The 2 people who made the accusation don't give a fuck rather, and I don't think anyone in my chat gives a fuck. The reason why he should milk this as much as humanly possible, and he should pretend to have like the biggest moral outrage humanly possible, is because all of the blame is on them. They lost because they were worse at him in a video game. Then they took it upon himself to bully him for it. They insulted like the. I wouldn't really. Is it like a? Is it a form of sexual harassment to, in this context, say that like he's got small dick energy? Like it's not like serious, but you know what I mean. Like it just leaves a very particular, distasteful sort of vibe. They were making like attacking him over the fact that he was white. They were then making shit up about how the story went down. They went into his chat to attack him over it. Like, he should milk the living shit out of this situation. He should go through like the last 15 years of the Twitter replies and just ride on his high horse because he did nothing wrong from start to finish. He was just playing a video game.
If he's talking about it, he has no reason to lie, right? That's insane to actually say that over a game on Twitch as a partnered stream. That's fucking crazy to me. Anyway, he continues. Your point of view and...
Do you think Hassan would defend her? Only if this dude is Ukrainian or otherwise pro-USA. Then Hassan would definitely defend them.
all the stuff I mentioned was sent to Twitch. You cutting these parts out of it and resending them to Twitch doesn't change anything. I would suggest you take the 7-day ban and try to remember good etiquette next time you are streaming without making fun of smaller streamers and their skin color, accent, penis size, how they look, nor come to their chat to shame them for just starting out on Twitch. Do better, all the best. Nap. P.S. Feel free to watch my point of view of the match and see for yourself how polite I was during the whole time. It is just a video game. Nothing justifies your behavior here. I can confirm this because I watched Nap's point of view. He was very polite. There was no weird behavior from him. He was just playing the game, man. But of course, this clip of them saying that he should get, normally I would have actually watched the VODs of both Antan and Babub to find that clip in particular, but they have both set their VODs to subscribers only, which means I have to pay money to watch them. I am not about to give them a fucking dime, bro. There's no way I'm giving them a cent. So you know what? I'm gonna take Nap's word for it. The fact that they said that is insane. Additionally,
look, Thijs, I can only apologize, all right? In my defense, I was, I stubbed my toe that day.
we have a screenshot here that shows us some of the things that Babub said in Nap Knight's chat. Like, for example, sorry, we didn't mean to bring more viewers over, you clearly aren't worth it. Become a better person, and you can even see, I think, one of Babub's friends, Simco, saying, it's just us three from the game, nobody else is here, indicating that this is a dead stream and that this person shouldn't even be streaming, they're a waste of space, right? The person who tweeted this, these message logs, got blocked by Antan immediately, which should say a lot. Now, to everyone's surprise, Streamer Bands did another tweet that said Twitch partner Babub has been unbanned after...
To be clear, nobody was surprised. This is what happens every single drama cycle. People are deadass sexually harassing other people on this platform and then they get unbanned like a day later. It's just... Nobody's surprised.
2 days, 2 hours and 14 minutes. This means that the ban appeal she had sent Twitch worked out. Twitch saw her as innocent, which is ridiculous. The entire reply section was against this, some saying that she should be banned permanently.
True,
it was a very unpopular decision from Twitch. But babe,
bro, can I just just for a sec? Obviously, this is me like doing the tinfoilery shit again. After I watched that video of like the entire Twitch staff sing Hassan happy birthday on a video, and then Hassan, instead of being happy that they've all come together and are singing him happy birthday from the office, just complained the entire time that like his enemies are going to use this as ammunition now. At that moment, it became so clear to me that not only like he has insane influence in there and they're genuinely running defense for him every step of the way, but also that like Destiny is never getting unbanned. My boy is fucking done.
Was celebrating like nothing had happened, trying to move on from this like she was really the victim. Again, her replies painted a very different picture, with everyone saying that Twitch really screwed up here and that she shouldn't be on the platform. She streamed a couple of times after being unbanned. And of course, a lot of people were criticizing her in her chat. So eventually on August 15th, 3 days after being unbanned...
Also, I will say, people calling for a permaban, like, fuck. She shouldn't have gotten unbanned after 2 days. The ban should have even been longer than a week. But I like, bro, can we just fucking chill for a sec? Not everyone has to be permabanned for everything that they do. Yeah, she did a dog shit thing. She did a piece of shit thing. She's probably established why the first line of attack she wanted to engage in was based on the color of his fucking skin. But like, can we chill for a sec?
And she made this tweet saying, "I will be taking a few days off. I am not a drama frog, but certain people love milking things. Believe what you want to believe. I will not stop you, but there is always other side of the coin. I'm sorry to whoever my actions caused harm, even though it wasn't meant with hostility." And again, dude, I think this might be the most community noted person I've ever seen in a video of mine. Like, another community note says, "Bub is trying to downplay her harassment and racist remarks that she and
I think the watermelon might be her Roshi mark. I don't know if that was the point of including
her
it in
friend
there.
Antan Desu caused towards a smaller streamer due to them losing a match in Dead by Daylight against the other party." Again, linking.
You can't critique Kick then if their bans are just song and dance. I mean, it depends on what they're banning people over or not banning people over, right? Like, I feel like I would probably have more of an issue if, like, I do have more of an issue when Kick, for instance, allows pedophiles on their platform. That's a bit more of a yikesy situation to me than like a random VTuber saying a racist comment. That one's a bit strange, you know?
The clip of them being very weird towards Nap Night. Baebub then replies to this tweet with another bigger statement. This is a Discord post she made in her server saying, "I won't tag at everyone. If you feel like reading this, go ahead. You may have seen the tweet targeted at my side. It is clear a certain person we won't name is holding strong personal grudge against me." It is really sad to see, even more sad that a lot of things are twisted and clips are taken out of context to make me look the worst. No, they really don't have to be taken out of context to make you look bad. You did it yourself.
Dude, this is... Fuck, I kind of want to make a video about this because I have so many thoughts.
She continues, "I'm not saying I'm innocent in the whole matter. Certain things were said mainly by my friends and I could have and should have stopped them. Certain people in this world are more sensitive to some stuff being said even though they are harmless, but that is how things are." Again, she's now tripling down on the fact that she did nothing wrong. She continues, "To be completely honest, I'm not good with these situations. It is not good for anyone's mental. I will not be interacting with the said post because that is pretty much what those people want. I had said my side of the story and out due respect of the other party, I did not ever include any clips to stain their reputation or make it seem like..."
Just apologize. Just say that you fucked up. This is an ego thing. Bro, do you know what I genuinely... If I was a dictator, right? If I could, like, enact my rule of law rather than whatever the fuck this current dogshit thing is, I would make it so that, like, if you want to be a streamer, right? Like as a full-time career, right? Not just like a part-time thing that you do, but this is like, you're not, oh, maybe let me put it this way. I would make it so that, you know how in China they do this thing where you have like limited internet access? I would do one of those, but tweak it. In my ideal world, okay, if I was a dictator, I'd make it so that you can only be a part-time streamer. You can only be a part-time streamer, not a full-time streamer, until you've had a full-time job for 5 years. You have to have a 9 to 5 and stream on the side, and then after you've touched grass to a sufficient degree, and we can add stuff like, you know, like volunteering that will like knock a couple of years off just to make sure that you do some good in the society. After that, you're allowed to be a streamer. But before that, no fucking shot. Do you know what this is? This is an ego thing. This is a genuine lack of accountability. And granted, I don't know anything about this person, right? So I could just be chatting pure wham. But like, she fucked up. She fucked up really badly. Her friend fucked up. They all fucked up. They're coming across as genuine pieces of shit who are also very possibly racist. And she's yapping when all she has to do is just say sorry. Just say sorry. If she worked a normal job, she'd know this.
I'm targeting them / harassing them, even though the evidence is clear in there. She has to be schizophrenic at this point, right? Like, there's no way she's doing this and thinking it's a good idea. What is she talking about? What clips could she possibly find of Nap Night that make him look bad at this situation? There are none. Next thing she says is this.
It's not about being humble, Ison. It's about lowering the sort of likelihood that you've gone from living the sort of high school drama life into living an online drama life without like ever realizing sort of that it's time to grow up, right? Like it would be closer to how, you know what it would be closer to? It'd be closer to how age of consent works, right? Like the idea is that like people below 18 on average are fucking idiots. Most 18-year-olds are fucking idiots as well. So like that's where we drew the line. In my opinion, we should draw the line higher. And it's not because at that point there is no risk anymore. It's just like statistically less likely, right? YouTube would have no content creators. Good. Everyone would watch me then, Grackle. This is my big fucking growth strategy. I would just ban everyone and only let you watch me. 2 to 3 years minimum of therapy before Twitch streaming.
Once more, for the very last time, I never sent anyone to target the said individual.
I don't buy that streamers that have worked hard before are any less likely to be drama frogs. She's not a drama frog. She likes basic accountability. She doesn't understand that, like, she instigated this situation. She's the one who's pushed it through, and she was the only party at fault there. Or rather, her side was the only one at fault. Yeah, but Chud is also not like this, Ison. Chud is a drama frog, but Chud has, like, a fucking functional head on his shoulders. I don't think I've ever seen an example of Chud beefing with someone where Chud is, like, 100% in the wrong, and he can't wrap his head around how it might be his fault that this is happening.
You didn't have to, because you sent yourself to his chat to target him, as well as your friends, so this doesn't make any sense to include. She continues.
Yeah, like even look at this. Yeah, like what he's saying right now. Once more for the very last time. I never sent anyone to target the said individual. Literally live on stream, she went there to target that individual. After the other streamer said that they're going there to target that individual. After that random friend in there said that they're going there to target the individual. But she's genuinely either too stupid or she just doesn't, like, she thinks her audience are fucking idiots and they're just going to buy this. She's too stupid to understand that, like, this is you sending your audience there. Like, what did you think was going to happen?
However, as of current time, it is clear this person won't stop until I'm stomped completely to the ground, and they even went the length to report some of my sub emotes to get them taken down, showing them. I never said go after them being Napnide, because there's nothing I hate more than bullying.
Fucking boo-hoo.
Oh my god, dude, this is insane. Yeah, she continues. However, as of now, I am the one who is getting attacked and forced to take the blame for everything, even things that did not come out of my mouth, cornered and stained and pointed fingers at. It is not very healthy for me to continue streaming with the current situation. My content does not resonate around drama, and if you watch me or even tuned in, you are well aware what kind of person I am. Because situation is as it is, I feel I cannot even defend myself because it will just look like I'm making excuses, so I will just disappear if that is what people really want. If it makes the world better place, then be it.
Oh,
I just really like injustice like this.
Herself a pity party. Does this work, guys? Did this work on you? I need, like, we need to do a vibe check in chat. Did the pity party work on you? Maybe I should start doing those as well.
Because I really feel wronged. Love you guys. So look, it's clear English is not a first language. I feel like Google Translate.
Yeah, but Hoss, if right now you don't give me $4.69, or alternatively $4.20 also acceptable, I will make the world a better place and be gone from the internet. You are the only person who can stop that, Hoss, with at least 69 cents going my way. We have to make it a funny number. You know how it goes. Hoss, this is on you, Chief. Fucking idiots, man.
Translate would have done a better job, especially with that last sentence, but she's pretty much saying she hates injustice and she feels wronged. She's being framed. She's being attacked for no.
And thank you for the 69 biddies, Hoss. Very kind of you, thanks.
Reason other than just existing and being a wholesome streamer, and man, a tear is running down my cheek right now. But
and thank you, Tyson Wine, for the 69 bits.
This is delusion to the highest level. It's insane. But that delusion did not last, because 2 days after posting this on August 17th, she finally came out with an apology with 1,000 replies. Yeah, of course, this is controversial. Here's what she had to say about this. I want to start off by sincerely apologizing to Napnight. Wow, took you a while. Finally. As a streamer and the one broadcasting the content, I'm responsible for the guest I invite to my broadcast, and of course for the way I react to what is being said. Be it idle, going along with it, as we're in this case, or taking appropriate measures to prevent or stop the harmful situation, which was the right course of action I was expected to take, but did not. The insult I referred to you as was uncalled for, and in the heat of the moment of the accumulated frustration from previous matches that I ended up wrongly taking out on you. As a partnered streamer, I meant to help, support, and encourage other creators and be someone they can look up to, especially to be in control of my emotions and how I act upon them. However, I was far from being such a person, and I am ashamed of it.
I think if I understand what you're saying correctly, Grackle, I understand where you're coming from, but I think that if you're a content creator and you think that when you get in a drama and like you have somebody you trust look at it, if you even have a process like this, because most of these people are fucking idiots. Again, be mindful of this. If you have like a few people that you trust that can take a look at what happened and tell you that like, hey, look, you fucked up here. If you think that like apologizing is a sign of weakness or that like you should just not say anything and wait for it to blow over or whatever, then like, man, you shouldn't, like, you need therapy. There's something happened with your head and it's just not good. I don't know if this is like a delusion of grandeur or if this is just like everything's a business strategy in your head. There is no accountability. Whatever made that sort of ideology be what's leading you down the path you're going down, you need to talk to like a trained professional to have that sorted out. Like, this is the thing. So this bub person, she got unbanned 2 days later, right? She is going to be like back to making regular content, back to like playing Dead by Daylight, whatever the fuck might be the case. This might just be my autism, right? Not everyone might be like this. I acknowledge that this genuinely might just be a me situation, but this is what happened with Slug. That's why I immediately recognized Slug from the Tiger video, right? Half a year from now, I will be like looking in like the Twitch VTuber section for someone to raid, or like there's going to be somehow she will be brought up and I will know who it is. And I will remember her, not because she had a few bad matches and she took out her frustration on Nap Night and then apologized, which we've all done before. We've all been there. We've all been toxic in a video game after a few fucking bad losses. I'm going to remember her for quadrupling down on racist takes and pretending like none of that happened. I will remember her for trying to gaslight literally everyone who would listen into like this fucking delusion that there are two sides to every story, when we literally have been shown Nap Knight's POV. He was just playing the game. I won't remember her for this apology. I'll remember her for refusing to do this apology. And that's shitty. And I can't help it. And I wish people weren't like this.
In my content, I have always put emphasis on creating a safe space and being a comfort zone to others, which is definitely not what I displayed there.
I'm with you.
I have let all of you down by avoiding the importance of the matter and the immoral behavior I showed in the recent days. Every time I find a new game to stream, I get very passionate about it. Dead by Daylight is a hidden gem I discovered a few months back. It is a game I'm very fond of playing and I like to get better at it. The way I reacted to the situation with lack of sportsmanship and wrongful conduct takes the joy away from the game to others. I would like to apologize to my community and my supporters. I'm thankful to the people who see the good in me through this mistake. And then she ends it by saying, it is now clear to me that the harsh statements that were said were hurtful and not deserved towards him. In the past days, I have been going through comments, messages, as well as the video focusing on what happened with other points of view. What was done is wrong. I was wrong, and I fear that I have become someone that does not match the standards I believe should be upheld. I'm sorry to you, Nap Night, and everyone I let down. I believe the best step for me to take right now is to reflect on my own actions and behavior and return once I see myself being who I once was, before I lost my way, and only once I am able to stand with the values that I believe in. Sincerely, Bub. So yeah, I'd say this is a standard apology, but it definitely came way too late, and only after she had not just doubled down, but tripled down on the fact that she had done nothing wrong, making it very controversial. This is why it doesn't really appear sincere. It appears to have been made out of obligation rather than sincerity. And you can see
this would have been a perfectly fine apology, silly, if this one was the first one that she's done instead of the doubling down. No doubling down, but just this. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to get a little bit pedantic with this, and this is just my own subjective take. So we're on 2040. I want to go back to when it was big. I wish, look, here's the thing. What she did, not that big of a deal actually, right? The dude ended up like fucking, he was what, on 700 followers, now he's on 9,000. He's looking good in all of this. He seems to be a decent dude. She's taking the L. There's no need for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paragraphs in here, bro. There's no need for this. Leave that first one in, right? You said that like you sincerely apologize. You were like you played the previous matches and you didn't have a good time and you took it out on him, right? The partnered streamer bollocks, that this can fuck off, right? Every single streamer having like this delusion of grandeur thing about like, okay, maybe I'm being too harsh, but I personally find this whole like I should encourage other creators and be something they can look up to. From every fucker on this website, when you try and engage in like any sort of politics or anything that might be more you know related to whether people can like think good, and it's immediately banned in their chat. In my content, I've always put emphasis on creating safe space. Don't care about this either. Every time I find a new game to stream, I get very passionate about it. DBD, again, I don't really give a fuck. I'd like to apologize to my community and supporters. This one's fine. I'm thankful to the people who see the good in me through this mistake. Yeah, this one we leave. And we can probably sort of cut off half of this last one and pair it with this. And you can just do 2 paragraphs. Quick apology. Look, I played a couple of games of Dead by Daylight. I had a shitty fucking time because I kept losing. I got frustrated. I took it out on him. I shouldn't have done that. The way how I took it out on him was really bad, and I will re-examine my own biases that have made me react that way. I am really sorry and thankful to those of you who continue supporting me, as, I don't know, your belief in the fact that, like, that was just a single mistake and not something that should paint my character forever, keeps me motivated, blah, 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 blah. I am sorry. Goodbye. See you tomorrow. Subscribe. There we go. We can just leave it there. Do you believe that the thing is you can't just... Do you believe there is a thing you can't just say sorry for? I think racist and pedo things you can't come back for. And I mean, depends on your understanding of what sorry means in this context. Like, the idea of saying sorry isn't that you should forgive, right? Or that you should forget. That's up to you. The idea of saying sorry is just to speak remorse about the actions that you've taken. Right? Like, you are a long-time chatter of mine. You've been in my community for a while, and whilst, like, we disagree on pretty much every single material thing, I do value your presence here. So if I was to fuck your mum, for instance, and then I was just, like, upon you finding out, I was just like, whoa, sorry, I shouldn't have done that, I understand, but her fucking badoinkadoinks just spoke to me in a language that I just couldn't unhear, and I did what I did, and I am sorry. That doesn't mean that you have to forgive. That doesn't even mean that you like have to forget. That you can continue being angry at me. I'm just speaking remorse about the fact that I understand I shouldn't have done that. But that doesn't mean I should be forgiven. I just acknowledge that what I did was fucked up. That seems like a dishonest sorry. That was a dishonest sorry, okay? Your mum's badoinkadoinks are just insane, man. I would do it again. But no, you understand the point that I'm making, right? Like, if someone's a nonce and they say, oh yeah, I'm sorry for being a nonce, like, you don't get to just walk away from that. But it's better if they say, yeah, I'm sorry, than like, yeah, I'll do it again. You know what I mean? Unix, how you doing, love? It's people apologizing is just like the most basic sort of function of remorse. It's supposed to be anyway. It's the idea that you have done the work to acknowledge that what you've done is incorrect. Because here's the thing, you either apologize because you acknowledge that what you've done is incorrect, or you double down. If you apologize and you're dishonest, then you're not really apologizing, right? It's like a tool to sort of make the drama die down. Yeah, exactly what Johnson's saying. Oh, here.
Once I'm able appears to have reflected in many of the replies, right? With some people saying that, oh, personally, if it was up to me, I'd unpartner you immediately from Twitch. With some funny comments like, this is a safe space for everyone to feel comfortable. 5 minutes later, oh, of course it's a white man, lol. She's not about to get away with this, and a lot of people are gonna hold her accountable even after this apology. But of course, there was another elephant in the room. People were also holding Antan accountable, the other partnered streamer in this equation, and the person who had made the whole white man privileged comment. She was blocking pretty much anyone who had something to say about her or Beba. Something substantial, because compared to Babeup's 10,000 followers on Twitter, she had way more presence on this platform. She had actually posted her apology on August 16th, 2024, one day before Babeup's
No fucking shot. She started the apology with a headline in French. No, these people are not real.
apology. But the reason why I left this till
That's it. The next time I get into any controversy, I'm just going to apologize for it in Polish and see what happens.
the end is because it got community noted. It is a very controversial
I need to see
apology.
that community note.
So
I
let's read
did
it.
not like how that community note
Okay.
started.
Make up your opinion on it, and then let's look at the community note as well as the almost 1,000 replies to this post. All right, let's do it. The post starts off in French, saying Bonjour tout le monde, j'ai demandé l'aide d'un ami pour m'aider à vous écrire aujourd'hui et j'espère qu'un jour vous me pardonnerez. So in English, this means, hey everyone, I asked a friend to help me write this today and I hope that one day you'll be able to forgive me. Then the rest is in English, and
Why is that in French? You've got a ghostwriter on your apology, and I need to speak French to know this. What is happening here?
she says, as I've been sick for the past week and just have been released from the hospital, today I find I have to speak of these events publicly.
Oh God.
That's a very interesting way to start your statement. Guys, if you've been on the internet long enough, you know that when someone starts off their apology with a pity party, it's gonna be real juicy. You're just fishing for sympathy. This isn't about you. This is about your behavior towards a smaller streamer.
Fuck. We need to... A missed opportunity to add fucking sad violin to the background of this.
Then she says, I'm not here to defend myself because we all act a certain way when our past trauma is triggered. Oh my god. But I don't want my poor health and past trauma to be an excuse.
That's why
That's why you mentioned it.
them, yeah.
I want it to be a way for me to keep growing in the best version of myself that I always strive for. I want to say first and foremost, I'm sorry to my community and I'm thankful and grateful to the people that are aware of who I am as a person and know that a little misunderstanding doesn't define me or make me a bad person. I made a mistake which made me only human. I'm really not that great at talking or fighting in general. It's not something I do by nature, only if I had no choice but to defend myself. Dead by Daylight is very much
Wait, Diz, your sister watches Antan?
outside my comfort zone as a game, and being new to it, I wasn't aware of a lot. I come from a different culture. I grew up speaking French and Arabic, and as an African, I have dealt with all sorts of racism. Oh, here we fucking go. The shame and the anger I felt finding out I was using a derogatory slur was beyond me. I'm truly sorry, as for the whole entire time, I never thought it meant more than what it is, a description or a person with lighter skin tones. I'm so very sorry.
Oh, is that fucking Tana Manju defense of... I didn't know that word is being used badly. That's why the context I used it in is, you know you're a fucking N-word, right? I hate these people so much. It's unbelievable. Nobody believes this. No one buys this. Oh yeah, I grew up very in touch with racism. That's why it never dawned on me until somebody pointed it out. That's saying, of course it's a white man, might come across as racist. Because I, having been, growing up speaking French and Arabic, and an African person, could not literally fathom the idea that if somebody said, wow, that sounds like what a black person would say, that might sort of not come across very well. No, it never dawned on her.
Sorry for this. Yeah, dude, it's just a description. Like if I open a stream right now and I'm like, ugh, of course it's a black guy. Like, dude.
To be fair, silly, when it comes to all of the Japanese shit, I don't critique people for that, because like my VTuber persona is literally a Japanese demon. Like I have no grounds to be taking that angle. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry. I just thought I was
Although, once we do the titties re-debut, okay, we're moving away from these vibes.
describing his skin tone. That's it. I was just describing the person.
Yeah, but those lefties know they're being racist, Johnson. They just want to retain the racism. They want to be able to use it as ammunition. Is the same type of lefty who then who calls someone the F slur when they're gay, but they also disagree with their politics. They know they're racist. Like, they know that they are. They just want to be.
It sounded like I was disgusted? No way. No. You completely misunderstood me. I'm sorry. I wasn't aware.
Chris, that's cultural appropriation. Culturally appropriate these balls. So see baka.
She continues. In French, it has a more playful tone. Un blondinet riche. Blondinet is literally just a boy or a girl with blonde hair. That's it. The second word she was describing, riche, just simply means rich. Regardless of whether it's a French expression, I can't confirm or deny, guys, I'm not French, I just live in the country. There was an undeniable tone of disgust when she said, ugh, of course he's a white guy. So regardless if an expression is meant to be playful, when you say it with disgust, of course, all of a sudden it becomes racist. I mean, I think that's just common sense. She says, this is why I wasn't understanding my wrongdoing about it, and I don't think I will ever apologize enough for it, but I can assure you it won't ever be a part of my vocabulary as I do not condone nor support racism. I mean, she still said, oh, he's a privileged white guy, he's so privileged, so I don't believe this, personally. I really don't. I just believe that she never thought it was racist. She still doesn't think it's racist, but only because people pointed it out, she's apologizing for it. She then continues, not to the point of discussing his numbers. This one was very low of me, and I don't even know how it actually came out of my mouth. I'm just ashamed. Not because people found out, but because I felt bad for even saying that. Which is why I attempted to contact the person in question and apologize, which was in vain. With no way to reach them, I hope that this amazing community will deliver my message. So, okay, here's the funny thing. In Napnide's reply, right, his initial reply to Bebub, someone asked this after Antan's apology on August 16th, linking her post and asking, did she really try to reach out to you to apologize? And then Napnight said, hi, not really, has had me blocked ever since I answered her tweet. So I guess he's referencing this right here. And I'm pretty sure this person asking this question actually got blocked by Antan because you're unable to view the post they quote tweeted. She has just been blocking everyone. Anyway, she then continues, Napnight, after
What are you sorry for? What's going on there, buddy?
After rewatching your VODs, I realized we share a deep pain that only someone with the same deep...
Hold on, that's a short clip. I can click this, we can see what happens. You know you're a fucking N-word, right? I did the lefty thing. I censored myself. I said the N-word. You don't get to complain, okay? I am above board, TOS-wise. Unless somebody wants to make a bet that I'm not.
cut could understand. It made me feel angry at first because I didn't understand it, but now I can see your pain. Your past doesn't define you. I'm sorry I wasn't a better encounter to you, a new friendship, or just a new gaming buddy. Instead, I was a bully, which is unacceptable, and that's why I apologize and hope nothing but the best for you. I'm so very sorry for my actions that were a one-time thing. I can assure you, just like you've never heard of me before, you won't ever hear from me again. So yeah, this post comes off as...
What a dog shit apology. And she even said she had a ghostwriter for this fucking thing. She corroborated this with someone, and this is the end result.
Very insincere, but what doesn't help is the community note absolutely cooking Antan to ashes. It says, someone that is genuinely sorry wouldn't be reveling in their acts while diminishing and blocking people. After it became quite the problem, the apology was released. Also,
I hate community notes like this. I think that whoever put this community note in place should have their ability to put community notes revoked until they've gone through like a period of just being able to only upvote or downvote community notes and then redo them again. Community notes are not supposed to be you inferring someone's emotional state and then me needing to trust your ability to do so. Don't tell me someone that is genuinely sorry wouldn't be reveling in their acts. Give me the links where they're reveling in their acts. Give me links where they're blocking people. Say something that is more neutral. Community notes are supposed to be neutral. This is not a good community note.
to justify racism because one experienced it is not okay. End the cycle of violence. Linking this tweet right here, which showed what she said to the streamer ban message saying that Bebub got banned. And interestingly enough, the person who posted this image on August 16th, the day Antan apologized, got blocked by Antan simply for just having a different opinion.
To be fair, that's a dog shit community note though. Honestly, this community note is really bad. I don't think I can stress enough how... Do you know what? This is going to be a first time for me. Can somebody find this tweet for me with this community note? I will downvote it. First time I will ever do anything over community note, and I'm going to rate this bad boy as shit.
So I don't think anyone in the replies believes this. And we see Spook and Jukes here yet again saying this. While some of this apology does appear genuine, the part where you say, a little misunderstanding doesn't define me is what I'm having trouble with. How is this a misunderstanding? You harass someone and shame them for their viewer/appearance. There's no misunderstanding. And yeah, some others also point out the fact that half or more of this.
Okay. So let's see. So rated. No. Opinion. Mrs. Key Points, I'd say. Well, no, biased language is better. I'll go with these two. This will do. Very nice. Yeah. This is a genuinely shit community note. I don't even know what to tell you. This is a dog shit apology. Don't get me wrong, but this community note is bad.
This was just her talking about herself and her trauma. That's not gonna work. The consequences of all this were catastrophic to both Baybub and Antan. Antan hasn't streamed in 11 days, and Baybub hasn't streamed in 7 days. It doesn't seem like they'll really be able to recover their careers and public image. I think they might come back maybe in a couple more weeks or a month, but of course, when it comes...
They'll be back to streaming before the next week is over.
Comes to being able to collaborate with others or even just participate in the broader community, they'll definitely have a very hard time making any new friends from now on. That's for sure. On the other end of the spectrum though, Nap Night is sitting at almost 9,000 followers, and hopefully after this video comes out, maybe he can reach 10,000 followers. It's a huge follower gain because when they bullied him, he had 700 followers. He has gained over 8,000 and he keeps gaining every single day. Very well deserved. And hopefully one day he'll have more followers than those two bullies so that they can't even bully him about that anymore. You know, these are my favorite stories, guys. Clear villains, a victim, and a happy ending for the victim, a very bad ending for the villains. Isn't that wonderful? You know, you get a story like this every once in a while, and of course when I see it,
it's a good story. I will say he's underplaying a little bit how bad of the... Sorry, he's overplaying how bad it was for the bullies, right? Because she literally got unbanned after 2 days.
I'll make a video about it.
They'll be back
thank you so much for watching. Hope you had a good laugh or were just entertained by this. I also stream on Twitch, Mugen Official. Come by and say hi. We have a great time, and I will see you in the next video. I love you so much. Stay safe out there. Mwah.
I wonder if he commissioned this music or if he found it somewhere. To get away with Genshin Impact fucking OST in a video is something. Cool though. Very cool. Anytime I see VTuber drama, I just can't help but think we shouldn't have abolished institutionalization. Look, the thing with these people, I was saying this earlier, right? It's just stupid people with no ability to touch grass. Natlan is so fucking whack. Dude, I was very briefly a little bit excited for Natlan, and then all of that just went away. I don't know. I think the thing that turned me off from Genshin the most when I was actually considering coming back is traversing the world in Genshin Impact has become somewhat stale because the game's been out for 4 years. And in comparison, in games like Wuthering Waves do a really good job of traversal, parkour, all of these kinds of things, right? Because it's a newer game. So Genshin wanting to, in a way, catch up to the modern times of video games and the competition that they have with Wuthering Waves, added more modes of traversing, more ways of climbing, quicker movement and all of that. But instead of giving it to everyone, they're releasing it as inherent parts of the new character's kit to also incentivize you rolling for the new characters. And look, that's fair enough from the perspective that they want you to roll for the new characters, sure. But here's the thing, the fucking green pixelated boy, he's got a really cool grappling thing. I want it. I can't have it because I don't want to pull for the fucking green pixelated boy. What's the point of that? You know what I mean? What's the point? I don't know. I'm just thinking of Wuthering Waves. I've been having a good time with that game anyway. But yeah. Moving on, now we've got the Lio Convoy versus Deviant Crow debate. Do keep in mind this video itself is 2 years old, and the actual debate was already a couple of years old at the time. Fuck. So this is somewhat outdated, but I feel like it's a Lio, so of course it's going to be good.
Hey guys, a few things I need to say for context before we get started here. First off, this is not a recent debate. This actually happened a few years ago. It was originally live streamed on Queen Seraphina's channel, but she unlisted it due to her content changing later on. She's allowing me to upload it here for you all so that it's public again. And secondly, there's the premise of this debate. An individual by the name of Deviant Crow was upset about my opinion on 2 topics. The first being that I didn't think a person who believes themselves to be a deer spirit, among other things you'll see discussed later, should be employed on Twitch's trust and safety team. And the second topic is...
Oh god, this is going to be a proper trip down the memory lane, isn't it? Oh, let's fucking go.
Art-related, on whether or not drawing sexy women is inherently, well, sexist. Unfortunately, the video cuts off abruptly due to the original stream being reported during its airing. Even to this day, we don't know why. Anyways, I hope you enjoy this. Promote it, so we'll give a few minutes and we'll do introductions and then we'll be on to the topics and then we'll start arguing. How's that sound?
That sounds good. That sounds good.
All right, I'll throw it in.
All right, copying the link.
Are you going to put it in events or?
I'll go ahead and do that since I'm here, but I'm also going to toss it out to a few other places.
All right, put it on Twitter as well. Debate between Plushie and...
This is maybe the quickest I've ever dropped a Hoyo game. Do you know that me and my girlfriend did the same thing? Like, bro, Zenless Zone Zero, I got turned off from that game in like, I want to say within 24 hours. Okay, speaking of games though, I'm going to put something on in the background so whilst we listen to this, because it's going to be input light. I just want to have like stuff moving on screen and whatnot. I'm going to give you 3 choices, and I like whatever you guys feel like you want to watch, that's what I'll put on. So it's either going to be Wuthering Waves, because I still have some dailies to do, or we can do Age of Mythology Retold, which is the new Age of Mythology remake that's just come out, or we can do Cataclysmo, which is an indie sort of tower defense base building sort of game. Very heavy on... I don't know how to describe that game properly. It's very cool, though. It won't be Elden Ring because Chris can't beat it. It won't be Elden Ring because I've corrupted my fucking game file again, Merit. And yeah, I know. I should stop updating mods midway through. I understand that. Play the monkey game everyone has been playing. The monkey game is expensive, so I'm not getting that. Not whilst I'm dishing out as much as I am for the dentist every fucking week. And Genshin Impact's not happening. Get someone to gift it to you. Bro, if you want to gift me things, you can knock yourself out. But like, let's be mindful of the fact that that shit's expensive, man. Monkey game is peak mid from what I've heard. It looks like basically just like a it looks like something between Bayonetta and Devil May Cry. And honestly, I like these kinds of games, but I don't know. For starters, another thing maybe it would be a bad idea to gift me that game because I don't actually know if my PC can handle that game and stream at the same time. But yeah, the poll is up.
And Leo is
so vote
live.
Because you have a few seconds left.
So now...
Hey guys, hello Rory. See that you were in the chat. And don't worry, Coyote. I have once again used the best image to
Age of
represent
Mythology
you.
It is.
Only the finest art is what I have.
Go ahead and put in this on Twitter.
I am only memeing. I actually love that piece Friddle did right there.
I don't even remember why you did that. Yeah.
I don't know. I think the conversation's like turned over to Coyote Undertale for reasons I can't explain. And then someone's like, so Coyote is Sans confirmed, and then Riddle made that for reasons that I can't understand. And it's staring at me like it's gonna eat my soul, and I love it.
All right.
I love him.
I guess we should begin.
Introductions.
Yeah, with introductions. I'll let Plushie go first.
I'm your Lord and Savior, Mad Plushie, also known as Deviant Crow. I am a comedy/rant YouTube channel. Not a human being, just a channel.
Okay. And Leo?
I am Lio Convoy. I like talking about different topics. My channel is primarily focused on cartoons and other sources of media, but occasionally I dabble into other things here. The reason why I have decided to do this is because Plushie wanted this argument about a week ago. I denied it to him. He called me ableist over it, so I figured this time I'll give him what he wants, and I will genuinely engage him in this.
Hey, let's go. Lio with a strong opening statement right off the bat.
Crow's volume.
Yeah, give us a little talk here, Crow, so we can make sure you're leveled out here.
All right, we're good. We're good. Gonna turn up Discord up to 70. There we go.
All right, and we have our moderated for this debate. We have Coyote Lovely. Tell us about yourself, Coyote.
I'm a homeless guy that they dragged off the street, and they promised to give $5 to if I would sit here and just pretend to care.
I told you not to tell them that.
Or you know what? Maybe give me $10. Maybe give me $10 then, huh?
We will negotiate that when the terms are to be negotiated. You are past the negotiation phase.
Damn. Can I have a sandwich?
Maybe, if you do well. All right, and we have, of course, Stalin.
Yes, hello. I am hosting this stream because I have to. Don't mind me. I'm just here. We have signed an oath. All who walk the blessed path will find salvation, even in death, out of darkness. I'm gonna shut the fuck up now. You guys can start.
Jackal Sniper.
Jackal Sniper.
All right. So, per Plushie's request or Crow's request, the first topic we're going to discuss is the Twitch Trust and Safety Board member. So, why don't you go ahead and give us your opening argument here, Plush?
Wait, wouldn't it make more sense if you made the opening argument?
Well, I mean, this is based ultimately on your work here. So I thought it would be courteous to give you that. If you don't want it, that's fine. I'll take it. I'm just telling you right now, I'm giving you that right.
You should probably do the opening argument.
All right. My opening argument, my issue here is if what is being put out is not an act, if what is being put out is an accurate assessment of this individual, I do not believe they should be on a trust and safety platform, because if they genuinely believe themselves to be, in fact, a deer, that shows an inability to properly regulate and interpret reality, and somebody who has that issue should not be in charge of anything due to their own mental health. My issue with her has nothing to do with her being trans. Let's be honest, if it was, I wouldn't be calling her. It has to do with, I believe, a lack of mental fortitude if this is, in fact, reality that she's putting forward and not just
What does CTE stand for, Eli? I'm Lion, I'm a giant piece of shit. I don't know about Bayonetta without the monkeys in Devil May Cry. No, Chido. The monkey game that they're referring to is what's the game called? The Wukong game. But it plays. It's like a hack and slash type of a thing, like quick reacts, big button mashing. It feels like a Bayonetta or a Devil May Cry game.
An elaborate joke.
Black Myth Wukong. That's the one.
Here's why I disagree with that. Okay, so the whole religion, God and big guy in the sky controls everything. That's perfectly fine. Someone believes she has said she doesn't believe she's a deer. She just has this deer spirit thing, and that's semi-religious, I guess. I don't see what's wrong with her doing like a semi-religious thing.
Oh, a religious angle on this is good. I keep forgetting that Lio is like giga fucking religious.
You know, a lot of people believe in crazy shit, and they're still competent.
Okay, tell me in detail what this deer spirit thing is about.
Honestly, I don't know. I would have to do some research on that.
What do you mean you don't know? She's the subject of your debate. Why does Lio not know either?
I'll do this in a bit, and you can blather on about your points as well.
Wait, you made an entire video on this, and you didn't even know what her stance actually is?
Debate over, chat.
Wait. Even alone, even if she did just believe that she's like a semi-deer, whatever the fuck, why do we fucking care?
For fuck's sake, we are the YouTube chat. Castra I'm so sorry for not seeing your message. I don't know when it was put in chat. My multi-chat thing got fucked, and I'm not seeing stuff properly.
I don't know how she does her fucking job first.
Well, considering
Crow, hold on. That's a pivot. He asked you a pretty direct question, and that was one of the agreements. Pivots are not going to be allowed. If someone's asking you a pretty direct question, then answer it.
Ooh, pivot's not allowed. Let's go.
Fair enough. To be fair, at the time of the video, I thought it was just, oh, she, believes in that spirit, that spirit stuff. There seems to be a lot. I've seen videos of like people who believe they have a spirit of an animal in them. Let me look that up real quick.
Because you're talking about spirit guides or animal spirits, like say the Native Americans tend to have spirit guides like that. I find that to be a different matter altogether than wearing horns and eating grass and saying that you are a deer. There's a bit of a difference there. Matter of fact, a very marked difference there. I'm having people in the chat saying that she's an otherkin. I'm not really sure if that's accurate. If any of you have a link that would provide evidence to that, that'd be nice.
That's exactly what I was talking about. Otherkin, thank you.
Okay, an otherkin is...
Why do they not know?
Is somebody who genuinely believes they are said animal deep down, like in their soul.
Well, let's back that up, actually.
Well, okay, sure. I love it.
Otherkin are a subculture who socially and spiritually identify spiritually.
Doing research in real time. I need to join these communities, man. I know it's a couple of years ago, but holy fuck, this is so amazing. They're just Googling shit. This is a debate and they're both Googling shit in real time to find out what the answer is in the debate.
And socially identify as not entirely human.
Where's your source, please?
Wikipedia.
Okay.
Wikipedia.
If you could link that very quickly, just so we all have access to it as well.
I got it.
All right.
We go ahead and link it. Send it to Stalin, and then I'll send it to Guy.
Also, guys, fuck, because I keep forgetting. Head on over to the YouTube stream. Just hit the like button, and you can go back to the Twitch stream. But just help out in the algorithm a spoonful.
I will also throw up a graphic on the stream that Leo just made. My bad, not Leo. God damn it, Riddle. So
as I said, this seems to be more of a spiritual thing, and really at that state, we shouldn't really be worried about it because it's basically just like freaking any other religion. You don't go like, oh God, the guy's Jewish, I can't give him a job. He's crazy. He believes in some god or bullshit.
Well, first and foremost, I would like to take to account here the statement that says that there's a subculture that spiritually identifies as not entirely human. The source for that, specifically according to this article, is a book on the vampire or the psychic vampire codex. So I'm not really sure if that's actually in relation to real otherkin or specifically to vampire-related ones. I personally believe the best way to go about this is less of the Wikipedia article and more of the Oxford Dictionary definition of otherkin, which is simply a person who identifies as non-human, typically as being wholly or partially an animal or mythical being. And I'll go ahead and I'll grab that screen cap and I'll send it on over here.
Thank you, Unix. You're the best.
I'll put it in voice chat context as well so everybody sees what's going on here. It's going to take me a minute because I'm a boomer and technology takes me a while.
I will make just a quick side note because this is silly more than it is serious, but it's just to do with Age of Mythology. I loved like the sort of old, like just, it's not racism per se. It's just, I'm playing the Norse race, right? And the Norse race has they have two sort of, they have two peons, if you will. They have the Gatherer, who is good at collecting resources and then just doing basic buildings. And they have dwarves. And dwarves are bad at everything other than mining gold. It's just, things were simpler back then, you know? It's like the mythological racism, but with a historical background, you know? This was like the proper skull measuring shit, not the boring stuff we get nowadays.
Yes, I can tell.
Bite me.
Don't play a boomer.
I'm
Be like
the
me,
remastered
a boomer.
version.
Please no.
How about we don't do that?
All right. There's the definition for otherkin. Now, the difference between a standard religion and believing yourself to be otherkin is most religions, specifically the one you are referencing, which is Christianity. We do not believe that our souls are that of animals and we inhabit human bodies. It's a different matter altogether. And part of the argument you're making here is a bit of a misnomer is there's a difference between believing in something and believing you are something, especially when it's easily disproved. And I can easily walk this through in a certain amount of things here. First of all, this person, if they are in fact otherkin, as you are making clear is the claim here, if you are an animal, you understand the animal's motivations, you understand its primal nature, and you understand what it eats. Deer very rarely eat grass. They feast on other things like shrubs and trees, and occasionally meat if they're hungry enough. It all very much so varies. If this person is in fact deer-spirited, they wouldn't be going by cartoon stereotypes. That's not how it works. I'm also personally confused, and I'm not trying to take shots here. Why somebody who is a trans woman would identify as a male deer? I'm very confused by that, because male deer are the ones that have the antlers. Doe don't. That's what they're.
He didn't know that Nokatan is gonna deny all of this. Okay, we truly live in an enlightened fucking age. I stand Nokatan now. Is that even a name? Is that deer anime thing?
They're called doe, and they don't have antlers. Antlers are a male dimorphic trait of deer.
Now, before we get down this line of thought too far, I do want to interject. This is something they have admitted that they are, in fact, otherkin, correct? Like, this is because before this conversation goes too far in that direction, I just want to verify that this is a statement they have made. It's self-admitted. This is a premise that is based in reality as far as they have said this. And that's just to make sure that that you two aren't arguing a point that's not even on the table.
Well, I'm arguing based on the point that Crow has made. His claim was that she identifies as an otherkin.
All right. Is Crow, is that something that you can? That's something that's verified. They've made this claim. Is that correct?
I do believe they made that claim. They've I've also seen video of them saying something about deer spirits.
All right, then I suppose for the sake of brevity, we'll operate under that premise.
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure.
Now, I know some people that point out the whole deergasm thing. Personally, Pat's pointed out to me that's probably just stimming, which is an autism thing, not something I really know too much about. Probably being reworked to the whole deergasm thing, as they call it, possibly sexual. I don't know. I'm not in that person's head. My point is, if this person genuinely believes that they are otherkin and they are spiritually an animal and as such react and act like they are in their own personal life, that is not showing up accurate reflection of reality. And as such, this person shouldn't be on a trust and safety board, because you cannot entrust somebody else's safety to somebody who does not have the ability to see reality accurately.
Hold on. That argument is, you can make that argument. You can have, there are multiple avenues where this argument holds like validity in terms of like your logic is flowing consistently. I disagree, but I understand what you're saying. Hey yo, thank you very much for the follow. How you doing, buddy? You can make this argument and be consistent. You can't make this argument and be consistent if you're religious. Okay? You can't. It doesn't work that way anymore. You can't tell me that somebody shouldn't be on the on fucking Twitch's community board if they don't like acknowledge reality to be their reality when you're like a hyper religious person that Lio is. I don't think any of the game elements are going to be very important at all, Chido. The game is mostly here in the background so I can have my ADHD stuff under control. It really just is here for that reason.
Two problems. One, if they do it in their personal life, there's no guarantee they'll do it in their work life. Their personal life and their work life could be entirely different. And two, the whole, oh, it doesn't make sense for them to believe that they're a deer spiritually. Well, okay, here's one thing though. The whole reason I'm pointing out the God thing is because they don't have very much proof or evidence to them. They're both kind of crazy, far-off ideals when you really think about it, and if you're really honest with yourself. So, really, why are people, against this one crazy ideal and not the other one? Is it because the other one's more popular and generally accepted? I do wonder.
No. A couple things. First of all, I pointed out the fact that there's a difference between arguing the existence of something and believing yourself to be something. These are separate situations. There's a difference between having a religious ideology or a spiritual belief and believing you are, in fact, a deity. I'm arguing concerning the latter issue. The latter issue is this person believes that they are a deer in one way or another. That is wholly different than believing in deer.
Now, here's the thing. I don't know anyone who's another kin, and I don't think I've ever done a deep delve because I'm gonna be real with you lot. I don't give a flying fuck. That being said, my understanding is that, like, an otherkin doesn't just believe themselves to be a deer, right? Like, it's like a little bit more complicated than just that. So I don't know. From my perspective, as someone who's not particularly religious, Lyo's argument here is somewhat semantic. It's the idea that in one case you have a person who believes themselves to be X, and in the other case you have someone who simply believes in the existence of X, and that the second one isn't as bad as the first one, because believing in the existence of isn't as bad as believing in being the thing? I don't know, Chief. It just doesn't feel that convincing to me.
Now, as far as if they're doing it in their free time, genuinely, or generally rather, I would not disagree. However, this person is on Twitch regularly and does these deer actions on her streams. She is not separating her work life from her personal life. She very much so has it integrated.
Okay, so let me hear this. Let me hear this. It's logical and okay for a person to have a job if they're Christian, and Christians have, you know how Christians work. They let their religion affects their work. Like they'll pray as if that'll do something. They believe themselves to be children of God, children of the Jesus Christ. They believe that whole thing happened.
His inflections. I don't know if he's stressed or if he's scared. Or if this is just maybe this is an accent that I don't recognize. I am sorry if I'm going to get pedantic over the inflections, but it's stuff like how he says God here.
Children of God, children of the Jesus Christ. They believe that whole thing happened, even though there's not a lot of proof to that. That's perfectly fine. There's no evidence for them, and they believe that God will bless them, and if they keep on praying, they'll be fine. Have you seen these recent motherfuckers saying, I don't need to wear a mask out in public. I'll be fine. I have Jesus on my side. So that's fine. We should that's fine. They're logical
Jesus
enough.
H. Christ.
Someone thinks they're spiritually a deer, and most eat grass. A lot of people do weird shit and they're still competent enough, right?
Okay, let me go ahead and address your statements here. Firstly, if we were to actually tackle the believability or accuracy of Christianity, you and I would be here for a very long time because there is a lot of historical evidence to the account, specifically in the Bible, that you're not aware of, and that's kind of obvious. But again, I keep telling you it's a false equivalence because, again, belief in something is not belief of something.
But
believing in
the expansions, Tyson White, are not out yet. I imagine those will be in the future. The stuff like adding the entire Chinese pantheon, like they did with the previous game. The extra god is Freyr, who is the one that I'm playing right now. He is a Norse god that is oriented around sort of taking defensive action and whatnot. So his signature ability is literally this, which is I can find a decent spot and I can just construct a fucking Asgardian bastion out of nowhere. And he's sort of good at just defending his shit. His repairing is for free. His first god power is to summon a boar at one of your settlements that will defend it for 180 seconds so he can't get ganked early on. I think the plan with this one is to add more gods into each pantheon rather than just add extra pantheons like the previous Age of Mythology did. I'm quite excited, but just because I have a lot of nostalgia when it comes to this game. I'm not very good at it, but I do enjoy it,
God and having Christian beliefs is not the same as believing you are a deer or believing you are a god. That's a false equivalence. And I'm not going to say that I agree with the people who say, well, God will protect me. I don't need a mask because the Bible also says not to tempt God. It also says not to be stupid. That's a false equivalence, Plushy, and as such, I'm afraid I'm going to have to outright reject it.
I don't see how it's too far off of a false equivalence. Sure, one is believing in something, and the other is believing you are something, but there's still both crazy ideals that don't have much fact or bearing in reality.
Well, again, I could easily dismantle the Christianity. It doesn't have much bearing in reality, but we would literally be here for hours.
Annabelle coming in with the base steak. I wouldn't hire a deerkin, not because they're crazy, but because they often dress like shit. Look, you've got to have... Your fit has to be on point, okay? It's just... But the old ones won't understand Anadil, okay? This is too skibbity toilet for the tastes of too many people in chat. It's sad, but it's true. That's my understanding, Ties, but I'd double check that with internet sources before you take my word for anything.
And I don't think you're...
You can't easily do it. You can't easily do it.
No, I can easily do it. There's just a lot of data. The Bible is the most criticized and scoured book in existence. It has been the most scrutinized.
Can you show me like a picture of God, like actual proof, like DNA samples and all that? Can you do that, Leo?
DNA samples of a spiritual entity.
Well, you have to show some significant proof based off science.
Well, I mean, if you want to, we could easily get into the mathematics about the possibility of Earth existing in the way it is, despite the fact that it's a scientific improbability.
Oh no, I already know what's gonna happen. The deviant Crow dude, he's gonna be mostly right, but he's just gonna be shit at arguing, isn't he? Like from start to finish, it's just gonna be a dude who sort of stumbles his way around. Because the argument that Lyo's about to make right now, it will sound convincing, but Lyo would lose that conversation if it was like actually going to happen. The idea that due to statistical improbability of how life came about, God must exist, that's not how any of it works. That's why science, mainstream science, disagrees. Because the more we find out about everything, the less likely the existence of God is. But again, he's not going to have the know-how for this conversation, is he?
During mathematics, we could easily get into that. But again,
if I may interject here, the chat is pointing out this has nothing to do with what we were on before, which was the whole other kin.
Correct.
We're getting off track.
I was about to say that too. We're getting off track, and it's time to steer back to the top. Like this is getting to the point that it's not even related to the conversation anymore.
Well, that's why I think it's a false equivalence. That's my point.
I agree. I was just waiting to see if he might steer it back to his original point. That did not happen. So yeah, it's time.
My point is though, it's okay for that other crazy thing that has little to no proof, but for this crazy thing that also has little to no proof, that's fine. You know. That's bad. How dare the
Bro. The original point was that they were separating their work life from their personal life, this being their personal life, but his point was that they have not done that, and Leo made the claim that they do this on Twitch, which is their job, so they are not separating their personal professional.
The point of the point of this, the point of the separation, the idea of what they're talking about, the idea isn't that she can't pretend or they can't pretend. They, I'm not clear on the pronouns. I'll go with they for the time being. The idea isn't that they can't pretend they're not a deerkin or just not pretend. Like, I understand how that comes across. The idea isn't that you can't act like you're a deerkin on Twitch. The idea is whether this is going to influence how you moderate the platform, how you uphold the TOS, whether that is going to get in the way of your most basic function as a community moderator, right? Like the health and safety people. And if I remember correctly, she confirmed that it will. Like she was they were very aggressive with the whole, like there are a lot of bigots on this platform who ought to fear me. Like I remember this. But they don't know what they're talking about, do they? Like, just neither one of them knows.
Life in that regard.
More importantly,
that was the initial point.
This is 2 years ago, Anadil, so I'm not 100% sure. We will find out soon.
She streams on Twitch and she acts silly. Multiple YouTubers, they like clothing businesses and stuff, and sometimes they act silly on camera and shit. But you don't test that to, oh man, they can't run a clothing shop. How dare they?
Do you remember what I said earlier in the stream, Crow? What my initial opening statement was?
Say it again there.
Okay, my initial opening statement was if this is not an act. If this person legitimately believes that they are a deer and they are on this platform doing this, I do not believe they should be in charge of anything. That's my point.
You have proof that will actually affect their career in any way. Huh?
I am telling you right now, if somebody cannot accurately interpret reality, it will affect a lot of things, especially when you are on a...
They're not interpreting reality in how Lyo's outlining it. They're interpreting Twitch's TOS. The thing is, I understand how we can get lost in the source with this one, but this is at risk of maybe making an inappropriate comparison, I want to talk about autism for a sec. Because a lot of autistic people, they don't process, they don't process information the way that I, for instance, do. But I feel like whenever I have like any TOS questions, autistic people are going to be the first ones I go to because they're going to have like the most anal understanding of the TOS, and then I can run a lot of my sort of thoughts around, like off of them, right? Like, does that make sense? The question here is whether she would be able to uphold TOS accurately, right? That's the whole thing. We're talking about a moderator on Twitch. All I want to know is if they can do the TOS shit. That's all I want to know. Hey, Saka, how you doing, baby?
Trust and Safety Board. Tell me, Crow, have you ever worked a blue-collar job?
Yes, I was a janitor for like 4 months.
Excellent. Okay, so as a janitor, you have to use certain chemicals to clean different types of stains, correct?
Correct.
All right, now, in your job as a
everything.
janitor, did you prepare these chemicals, or did somebody prepare them for you before you got there?
Pre-prepared.
Okay, so if they're pre-prepared, right? If the person pre-preparing those chemicals for you thinks that phone lines are giants, would you really want them to help you mix your chemicals?
It depends on how good they are at their fucking job. If they listen to it, anyone can follow instructions on how to do a job. It's fucking easy.
You would say that, but there have been a lot of workplace accidents with people who have been on narcotics, that have been sleep deprived, people that have had other issues with measuring.
This is a good argument. There is a good pushback to this. The overwhelming vast majority, I would wager, of those accidents were done by neurotypical people to neurotypical people. So the assumption here, the default that you should go with rather, is that you should judge people on whether they're like capable of doing a certain job on a sort of more individual basis. But again, it's a 2-year-old debate.
Reality, because ultimately that's what the argument comes down to, is the measurement of reality. As a previous CDL, Class B truck driver, I had to have between weeks at least 36 hours of downtime after 50 hours of driving, because when you get too fatigued, your brain does not operate at peak efficiency, and your ability to read and react on the road is severely impaired, and it therefore makes you a danger. And that's without any narcotics, that's without any substance abuse, that's just your brain being tired. We're talking about somebody whose brain does not accurately reflect the fact that they are in fact human. This is a complete thing that's even worse than just being tired. That's why I don't think they should be on it. I think they could be a safety hazard. Matter of fact, I think that somebody who is that hard up for interpreting reality shouldn't be on a safety board at all.
Oh,
You'll
no.
see no correlation with her
again.
believing deer spirit stuff in, her job. Sure,
I just laid out for you the
that's
correlation.
That's not correlation. Oh, here's some people doing like drugs and stuff and not having a strong grasp, not a strong grasp on reality. Yet we don't know if her believing in deer stuff will actually affect her job as a safety monitor. There's a kind of two different things.
I just want to stress that while what you've said is valid, contextually, that is with physical safety and in positions that don't necessarily apply to what's being discussed. If you had, any kind of examples to throw out that relate to social media and safety as far as, Twitch or YouTube or situations like that were concerned, that would probably be valid, but it's trying to correlate a very different kind of safety with something that's not really comparable, if that makes sense.
Okay, I have a better one then, if you'd like me to take down that path rather.
Okay, good. Fucking go ahead.
All right. Flushy, are you fond of our current president?
Fucking no. God, no.
Do you think he can accurately measure reality?
I mean, I'm pretty sure he fucking can. He's just a lying asshole who'd rather make money off.
This was uploaded 2 years ago, but he said it took place a couple of more years ago. So for the sake of clarity, I believe they're talking about Donald Trump. Okay, I have an issue with this remaster. I don't know if this is because I choose the AI wrong, but this is a naval map, which means that everyone spawned on these little islands, and I don't think they moved from those little islands. I think all of the AIs are stuck on the fucking little islands, and none of them moved to this major bit here, so I can't even fight any of them. Bruh, why? Why is it like this?
help the people that's suffering.
Just
It's less of
standard
him being a
difficulty,
crazy
Oski.
moron and more of him being a corrupt asshole.
But if he was a crazy moron, would you be happy with him in power?
No, he's a crazy asshole.
Well, the president doesn't hold any actual power himself. There's plenty of other people that can veto him. What's the problem?
Thank fuck for that.
Repeat that again.
The president himself can easily have power removed via votes. He, in and of himself, has no power. So what's the problem?
Well, I guess in that case, it would be easy to remove him. But, seeing how he's done all this bad shit right now.
No, but your argument is, and again, I must stress, in my hypothetical, it isn't that he's vindictive or that he is evil or that he lies. It's just that he's crazy. You can't measure reality properly. It's a hypothetical, yes. And in my hypothetical, you answered you would not want him in power. Why?
Because if his craziness caused him to commit the acts he's done, then that's proof that shouldn't be.
Okay, let me get back down to it. I'm not saying right now we magically would turn him crazy. I'm saying removing any past history that any acts he's done, any laws he's put in place, any of that. If he was just mentally unhinged, would you be okay with him being president?
Well, that depends. How mentally unhinged is he? I would need context to make a decision like that. Most people's definition of mentally unhinged is like fucking wrong and shit. Like people will say, I'm mentally unhinged.
I'm not asking for other people's. I'm asking for yours. Because I asked you.
Opinion, I would have to need more context. I would need to have like how is he crazy?
By your standards, mentally unhinged.
Standards mentally unhinged? Yeah, but that's because
Chat, I think the game might be a bit fucked. I think we might have to go with something else for now. Like, they're gonna fight the units, but they're not. Why are they not destroying buildings? Why are my units not using abilities? What's going on?
standards are different, or widely different from yours.
I know, but my standards are your standards.
Are someone that believes in deer spirit stuff.
Am I having a hard time here, guys?
No,
am I not being clear?
I completely understand where what you're trying to do, Leo. I just don't think Plushie's getting it.
Okay.
I understand as well, and I believe you're making an adequate comparison at this point. And I don't understand where the disconnect is coming in, really. I mean, this is an accurate comparison in the sense that it's not more abstract like your other comparison. This one is a lot more. It correlates a lot more clearly. So I'm not seeing where the disconnect is and why this isn't translating.
All right, then I'm going to take another route if that's okay. Plushie, do you believe that a person that is either unbalanced or somebody who believes they're...
The dragon has cool antlers, though. He has very cool... The whole game is really cool. It's just, it's fucked. Like, right now, for instance, I can't even... Like, I can't command him either. He's not listening to me, yeah. I think there might be some kinks still to work out, because it's like early access shit. Hopefully they fix it quick, because I have no idea why.
Your spirit should be kept in a position of power until they hurt somebody.
It depends. If they're just believing in deer spirit stuff, and they do a great and they do their job correctly, who the fuck cares? You should be judging them based on how they do their jobs.
That really didn't answer my question.
The answer is yes.
So
until we have proof that they're mentally unstable enough to actually hurt someone. Someone believing they have a deer spirit is not mentally unstable enough to go out and hurt someone. They might have at most go like, "Oh my god, is that guy in a wolf costume? I'm gonna scurry away."
So, you think that do you think preventative actions are not a good thing in this case? They're not something you would be okay with.
Depends on if they have any if the person has evidence that that someone is going to hurt someone, then that someone should be locked up. That's good preventative action.
I think that I'm swinging here, and it's
they're so shit at the rating. It's unreal, man. I can try put this at 125, see if that makes it a little bit. Because to be fair, this is bad.
It's not connecting.
That's because you're wrong, Leo.
No, it's because I know I'm not supposed to really say that much, but Plushy, it's really not connecting with you here, man.
I think I can clarify where the disconnect is now. It's that right now, Plushy, it seems that, and this is my interpretation, you're interpreting somebody getting hurt as a physical thing, whereas in this context, it would be it would be somebody losing their job, such as their channel being unfairly terminated, not being able to govern when somebody has or has not broken rules, and that leads to bad situations and bad precedents being set.
Do we have any proof they're bad at that? Do we have any proof they're bad at that?
No, I talked about preventative, not as opposed to reactionary.
The dear lady.
I'm just trying to clarify that when it comes to a statement of someone's mental well-being within some kind of trust and safety team, and I'm not arguing any points, I'm trying to clarify this. When it comes to someone's mental well-being in a trust and safety team, that's where the concern is. Nobody's concerned about somebody getting physically harmed. Harm in this context simply means somebody's channel being possibly shut down or not, and possibly losing their job.
It's not preventative. It's just 80%. Hey, Cooper, how you doing, buddy? How's it going? Yeah, the 80% is real. Except that Lio might be amongst them, you know? They are Cheeto, yes, color-coded.
Or not, depending on if they broke a rule or not, and it's completely open.
If I may also interject with something that Creepy said in the chat, is no one going to bring up that this person who is on this console does not believe voice chat in online games should be a thing on a platform for streaming games?
One moment about that. The reason why I haven't is because I couldn't remember, and I'm not going to make a claim without citing a source. I couldn't remember if it was her or if it was a friend of hers, whose name is escaping me right now. That's why I didn't put that forward, because I didn't have the accurate information to make that claim.
Creepy, the reason I didn't bring it forward was because, for the most part, I'm here to be very neutral, and I'm only really interjecting when it's necessary.
But I will say, about the end of this, we will bring other people on. They can ask questions of either of us, and if you want on, Creepy, I mean, Gamer, you're here, we can do that. But
Gamer,
there's a difference between preventative and reactionary, and it seems Plushy is more on the side of reacting, being a reactionary to things where you have to wait until damage is done before you can react, and I'm more on the preventative nature. That's why when I go camping, whenever we have somebody who's really drunk, we keep him away from the fire. We don't have evidence he's going to fall into it, but we want to make sure he doesn't.
I do want to press, just Plushy, hold on a moment, Leo. It does seem like there was kind of a label thrown at Plushy right there, reactionary. I don't know if you intended it in sort of a negative, pejorative way.
No.
I'm going to ask that, like, okay, I'm just going to ask that we not use that kind of language, because we did agree beforehand, no insults are going to be thrown.
I mean, it wasn't meant as an insult. It was meant as just how things are reacted to. One reactionary in the sense, I'm not talking political reactionaryism. I'm referring to kind of like how Superman responds. Like, damage has to happen before he can react. That's reactionary.
That's my bad then.
If I can also throw one more thing in from the chat, Meadow Fembot said, "How about Dear Lady, Dear Lady adminning a gaming website and saying gamers are white supremacists?"
He's not just pedantic though, Beans. He's like an actual fucking idiot. That's the like. If he was pedantic, but he was pedantic about something he's correct on, I would understand it. But like, he's not, and it's so rough to listen to.
Supremacists / Nazis.
Not true at all. She didn't say that.
I mean, I don't know. That's just what the chat is saying. So
the chat is wrong.
No, she did say that a lot of gamers are. Hold on. She did say that a lot of gamers are white supremacists, in her opinion.
A lot of gamers.
We are going to need support for that quote.
Sure,
honestly. And I have no problem. Like, if you can get a source, that's great. If you can't, I honestly think we should give the benefit of the doubt and just assume that was not said, and that may be speculation.
Yeah, the chat is blowing up saying yes, she did said that. She did say that there's video.
Well, I've seen a lot of people say similar things. And well, this definitely happened. This definitely happened, but it may not have. So
don't get mad at me over this. I'm just trying to make sure things are completely even here. If he's making a claim, if there is a claim, there should be a source to back it.
Got it.
Like I'm saying, we shouldn't judge someone on. So what my main point is, we shouldn't judge someone on their spiritual beliefs. We should judge them based on their actions in reality. Thoughts do not mean much. What the actions do.
What is this? What is this inflection? I'm gonna get pedantic now again. What is this? Why does he speak that way? Am I the only person hearing it again? Please tell me I'm not the only person who's hearing it.
And so far, I have not seen any problems how they run shit. If you have a problem with when they run shit, yeah, that's fine. But they'll say, oh, they're spiritually adhere or some fucking shit. They should lose their job.
I have said
it's not the stutters. No. It's the now he did it very aggressively now, so it came through. I think it's from stress. It has to be. It's the only thing that's making sense to me.
Let me go and send it to Plushy too, real quick. I want to make sure everybody has it.
Just watch the clip, and that is in fact a statement that they made. So. Okay, then. That's a regrettable statement to make.
No,
I think I can play it on stream here. Hold on a minute through audio. Let me play it real quick for the audience.
I'm just not cool with white supremacy, y'all. It's really not that. I think a lot of you gamers
Here's
actually
the
white
thing,
supremacists.
I think in that
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. I'm
Yeah,
playing the.
I think it's out of stress though, Beetle. That's the thing. Like, it's either stress or it's like a debate tactic. But I can hear it. I have a thing.
Flip, hold on. Give me a moment.
Sorry. Just a fact of how I feel.
A fact of how I feel. Okay, now you can talk, Fleshy.
I think specifically she was talking about the people in her live stream chat. Because she directly says you to the camera as if it's the people watching, of course. Not just gamers in general.
I mean, she literally said a lot of gamers are white supremacists. I think there's also another disconnect here.
To the chat, as if she's specifically like talking to the screen as if she's talking to the chat. And even if she did mean that about gamers in general, she would still be somewhat right. There is a bit of a racist problem.
You don't want to... I would advise to take one angle. Either she's not saying this, or she's saying it and she's correct. Don't do the she's not saying this, but actually if she was saying it, then it would have been correct. Not a good look.
In gaming, I mean, have you ever gone to a fucking gaming and all of a sudden someone screams the N-word and all this racist shit? I have.
True.
Not gonna. That's an anecdotal account, and honestly, there's no way to verify that. That's the problem with anecdotal accounts. But aside from that, I don't think it's really safe to start trying to argue somebody's intent when we have no way of contacting that person or knowing what their intent was. All we can do is judge the clip itself, the words she said. That's all we have to go off of. So that's just the way I'm going to rule on that one.
And I do have some information here that she is one of the people who does want voice chat removed, citing that it is unfair. Hold on. Citing that it is unfair, and I find this personally, and I'm going to use some left-leaning language here, I find it to be ableist. Linking that will be in the first thing.
Fuck.
So here, I'm going to send it to Stalin and to Coyote. It's just the first part of it where she talks about it being unfair and talking about the possibility of removing it, and I disagree with that. And I disagree with it on several aspects, and that's one reason you could say she probably isn't set up for this job. And also, as much as I hate to say it, Stat did bring up a point. It shouldn't be okay to just insult a large swath of your customers by insinuating, even by your own opinion, that they're white supremacists. That's not okay. Not if you want to run a business.
She's not running a business. What's it mean?
Repeat that real quick. I was distracted.
Okay. As much as I hate to say it, I'm going to have to agree with Step on at least one thing. It's unwise and bad business and incorrect to accuse your customer base of being filled with white supremacists. That's very unwise. And again, her wanting to remove voice chat, I find to be ableist.
Voice chat is not ableist. The whole problem with the whole voice chat thing is because it gives some people without a mic, with a mic, an unfair advantage over others. And as she said, she points out there the whole race.
Bro, that's a moronic argument, though. Having a microphone is an unfair advantage. Bro, just... You can get like a budget mic for like $10, bro. Not even that. Dude, I lived in Poland. My like childhood, right? Early childhood. It was very, very expensive, okay? And like our budget stuff is like the budget stuff of your budget stuff. You can get a functioning microphone for not that much money. Come on.
Racism around it. Okay, let's say, you're a guy of like, you're not white. Let's just say you're not white. And you're playing a game, you're playing competitive maps, and some other guy from the other team, he starts saying racist shit. Now, you don't want to fucking hear that shit. You're sick and tired of that shit. Yet you would lose the in-game advantage if you just muted him. Or let's say if it wasn't even just you, it's just someone on your fucking team. That would be kind of unfair.
I mean, personally, I know you use me as the example here, so I'm just going to go by how I've operated in games when I hear racist stuff. Usually they can't get my race right, which is hilarious, and it really doesn't distract me because I'm a casual gamer. But if we're talking about intensive gamers, and if somebody does that in competitive mode, I would imagine the best thing would be to mute them and then report them to whoever's in charge of these competitions.
But during that, you would lose the competitive advantage in that match. And if not every fan goes through, even
no, but here's the thing, Plushy. If these things are moderated correctly and are ran by proper staff as they should be, whether or not they are or not, I don't know. But if they should be, then a win like that is disqualified because your opponent went outside of the reins of the actual game to beat you.
Yeah, but this isn't always regulated at the time. These are millions of online matches. Most of the time they have to get bots to look over that shit, and that doesn't always work.
Then that should be something they should be more concerned about properly moderating instead of just taking away an entire ability from an entire subclass.
That would be a really hard moderation system to...
I need to check very quickly because I'm not sure you're both arguing the same definition of competitive play. I think it would be really helpful if you were both on agreed on what competitive play means in this context, because competitive play can mean online games that are just in competitive mode, like Counter-Strike or CSGO, or it can be an actual tournament-style thing, that's what it feels like Leo's arguing versus what you were arguing here, Plushy, which was more of like the CSGO style, just competitive mode. So I think right now, kind of establishing where you're arguing this, both of you, would be very helpful towards actually like coming to like, you know.
All right.
I can't words right now, but
for the record, when I talk about personally competitive, I'm talking about in a structured environment where you are trying to win something, not just a game, but like a prize. Now, my other issue here is if we're talking about like online gameplay where we're just, like say we're playing Halo, right? And we're competitively playing against another team. Why in the world would you talk to the other team instead of your own teammates?
Chat thing is on, and even then, like I said, what if it's someone on your own team that's racist, speaking racist bullshit, and you don't want to hear that because it can mostly affect you or cause past memories to appear that aren't pleasant. You shouldn't. And then you would have to block them, and then you would have a disadvantage.
If I can also interject, I'm surprised Leo hasn't pointed this out. Plushy, you're aware that the mute button exists, right?
Yes, but if you mute them, like I said, you would get a somewhat unfair advantage on your team because that's one less team member you can focus and talk with.
Yeah, and like, bro, come on.
Compared to your team that might have more.
Hold on, but you lose that same advantage if they get rid of voice chat altogether, don't they? Like, what's the point of this argument, man? Like, what, my G? This is what are you talking about? It's just stupid people. It's stupid people arguing. And Lio isn't stupid. Lio's like a proper fucking basket case.
That's an extremely subjective moment, and that's going to come down to literal milliseconds.
That's still going to be an effect on people.
It's a hypothetical, not a definite. So
and they could have an advantage of having more people on the voice mic.
Wait. Then let me get this right. When it comes to the lady who believes that she's a deer, you're okay with waiting until she does something damaging. But with voice chat, you're okay with it being muted because of the potential of damage, but not with actual evidence of damage. Is that accurate?
That's not accurate at all. That's not anything related to my statement at all.
But you're just talking about what it would do to people. Do you have any data on that?
In a competitive match, in a competitive match.
Is he asking for data on whether when you play competitive games and you can't communicate with your team, if that hurts your odds of winning?
It's different from the dear lady situation.
Do you have data that these things actually cause problems within the match that cause people to lose?
Yeah, we would need to see.
Why are you taking CSGO this seriously, or like any other casual competitive game? To be fair, those aren't casual competitive games. Those are just competitive games. If you don't want to take a game like CSGO seriously, you can just play the casual like game mode, right? There's no one forcing you to play the competitive side of things. You could literally just not do that, and it'd be fine. The game is still fucked. I can't look. This is an enemy building. They should be automatically attacking it. They're just ignoring it completely. They're only fighting the, they're fighting the enemies, see when I see them, but why the fuck am I not attacking their buildings? Chat, we might have to go and play something else, because this is just fucked. Might have to go on Wuthering Waves instead. Until they've, fixed a few things here, it's gonna be fucking rough. To be fair, now it's going to look like I'm bitching out because they just fucking railroaded me. But now they're leaving. See? Yeah, no, something's scuffed here, chat. Something's big scuffed.
Some kind of data, if that's the kind of statement that you're making. If you're making a statement that that this will cause people to lose, you're going to need to show some kind of data to that effect.
Oscar, it's not about the difficulty. Units aren't registering enemy buildings as enemy buildings. They're not attacking them. This is not a difficulty thing. The game just doesn't work right now as it's supposed to. It's a strategy game where you fight the enemies, and my units aren't attacking buildings. Buildings aren't attacking buildings. Watchtowers aren't attacking buildings. It's just fucked.
Because that is something you can quantify. And Leo's been good about showing his sources, so it would be wrong of me not to ask you to show a source to that effect.
It wouldn't be wrong of you to ask a source, to ask... Oh, what a strange debate. What a genuinely strange debate.
Hello?
No, I can hear you. I don't know. I thought that was on my end.
I'm looking for data on it right now.
And how much longer do you guys want this section of the debate to go before we switch to the other topic?
I'm fine with however long, as long as you both have, points to make. As long as chat's not getting bored,
Don't
I'm
lie
fine.
to me, Cooper, okay?
I would request 5 minutes between topics so I can go have a smoke or something, and just so chat.
Yeah, I feel like that we should move on to the next one soon because people are.
Yeah, we should move to the next one soon. I can't find any data on that, but but personally, if someone's talking about a situation that is sensitive to me, I'd probably mute them as well because that's sensitive shit. So I can at least attest on my part, which isn't much though.
Right. Yeah. So unfortunately, there's no way to verify the claim as being like something that affects a large number of people or has a huge factor, plays a huge factor with a lot of people. So
we do have an article passed to me by Monstrous, but clearly I can't read this entire article, so I'm just going to leave it in chat. Actually, no, she already did. I'll pass it on to you guys to read at your leisure, because obviously I can't form an argument based on something I was just given, especially if people aren't doing the same for Plushie. That would be severely unfair.
I was just the one who tried to do BDSM in a drama tweet thread.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I try not to pay attention to stuff like that. And it's also irrelevant to the argument at hand. She says the TLDR of the paper is that the trolls are one-offs, but again, I'm not making that claim. I haven't read it, and I'm not going to talk about something I don't know.
All right.
So let's go ahead, Stalin.
Yeah, I was going to say we might as well move on to the next one because Brick.
Go ahead. Who?
Let's go ahead. But again, I'm not making that claim. I haven't read it, and I'm not going to talk about something I don't know.
All right.
Let's go ahead, Stalin.
Yeah, I was going to say we might as well move on to the next one because Brick Wall here, obviously, and plus she cannot.
Why is Stalin a part of this debate all of a sudden?
All right.
Let's go ahead, Stalin.
Yeah, I was going to say we might as well move on to the next one because Brick Wall here, obviously, and plus she cannot.
Well, you guys are the moderators. You can
this debate jumped
both
quick.
make your own decision on who you think did better here, and heck, the chat can too. But we'll go ahead and take a 5-minute break so Coyote can grab a much-needed smoke. Feel free to just relax, guys.
I'm fond of getting
Leo. That's about right. I'll see you in about 5.
Okay, I was just about to move Creepy in here for about 5 minutes.
Go for it. He wants in.
Oh, yeah, he was sitting in political cancer and he just disappeared right when oh, there he is. Hello, Creepy. You're here to join us on the break, gamer.
Can you get your 3 other jackals in here to really balance it out?
Yes, the other jackal snipers. Yeah, I understand. Actually, I might as well change that name real quick. Whoops. Okay, I guess Creepy died.
Well, how many room members is the room set for 4? That's why.
Whoops, my bad. Let me increase that to 5. 6. There you go.
The gamer keeps dying.
Gamer, are you alive? Can you talk now? Wait.
Not for a moment.
What are you doing, Creepy?
The thing with ACC that I will never understand, and with all of these debates, is why they start doing this thing where random people can start joining in and taking part in the debate. This isn't even like the stage where you invite callers in to ask questions. They just start jumping in randomly, and they always have completely fucked microphones. Why? Why couldn't you? Does it really take so? When you sort out your microphone once, it's like sorted out forever, you know? You only have to do it once, not like dog shit restream, where every single time I want to start streaming I have to redo the YouTube thing. Just do it once, and it's good. It stays.
Okay, you know what? Fine. Just be Rendrick instead.
Oh, Lord. I was going to break it at the end.
Let me in.
All right, hold on. Creepy, are you there now?
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, my God, finally.
Oh, my God. Thank you, Christ. Okay. So...
You died again. Holy shit.
Here, I'm increasing it to 8 just to be on the safe side. Good God.
Let me know when I can say something.
We're trying to get Creepy has a much shorter amount of time, so that's why we're trying to get him in here. Sorry.
I don't know what's going on.
He's on mobile. Because he's probably at the gas station and he's bored.
To be fair, Laia would know. Laia would know what that sounds
anyways,
like.
while we're doing that, Rendrick, do you have anything to say right now? While Coyote's out getting a smoke.
I've got a lot of fucking say.
Oh boy.
I'll save it.
Also, Monstrous wants in for a minute. We might as well give her comeuppance.
Okay.
Boy, I can't wait for that.
And then we'll move on to the next topic, because I don't want to delay here too much.
All right, let's just have Rendrick and Monstrous go. So, Rendrick, go ahead.
Okay, now grow. You're an educated moron, like cripplingly. It's amazing.
You have absolutely no idea what you're talking about when you talk about religion. Whenever you reference big guy in the sky, that's an incredibly anthropocentric view of God that you probably grew up with because you didn't really give religion any proper, reading or thought.
I mean, technically, I'm not an atheist. I have my own religious beliefs
No,
as well.
you argue like a fucking high school fedora wearing atheist. That's the problem.
No, but my point is this. I'm not saying religion bad. I'm saying they're both kind of like crazy beliefs. They have little to no.
The thing is, no, because Christianity and similar subsects and similar denominations and branches of the Abrahamic religions have been used largely as guides for societies and guides for how to cope with life. Like, how difficult fucking life is.
The annoying part is that, like, why would I don't get this. And maybe this is a me thing. Maybe that's more telling of me than it is of other people. At this point, Beatles, you will know. Beatles, are you there? Are you listening? Because I want to ask you a question. You'll be able to answer the question. I don't know if anyone in here will have the law knowledge for this. At this point in the story, when Lyo's debating Deviant Crow, Lyo is like an established, known content creator, right? Like, he's not huge, but he's known. He's influential in certain circles. People are aware of who he is, how he talks to people. Generally speaking, timeline-wise, he's not like an unknown rando at this point, yes? And I agree, Silly. I agree 100%. I would advise against getting stunlocked on Age of Mythology stuff right now, because we can always talk about it later in Discord, and right now the game's kind of scuffed, so there isn't that much for us to even latch onto and talk about. It's more in the middle, this debate is way before we actually go into ACC. The reason why I'm asking is because usually when you accept... The point isn't that you have to have an answer to every single question. The point is that when you accept a debate, right, in a way you're accepting like a challenge to debate someone. Right, you are going to have your sort of, to put it very cringely, your intellectual mettle tested and tried. If you agree to debate this topic that they're debating right now, you ought to prepare for it at least a little bit. Like, you don't have to have every answer ready, but you shouldn't not have any answers ready either. And this person, the Crow guy, is not good at this. Like, aggressively not good at this. Why agree to debate someone like Lyo, with moderators no less, in a formal environment, well, as formal as these fucked up, weird fucking communities get, and be so unready for a conversation? Like, it's, bro, you've shit the bed here massively. And Lyo, look, I've watched a lot of Lyo content at this point, more than I'd like to admit out loud. Lyo is not good at debating people. Lyo's not good at thinking on his feet. He's like, his zingers aren't really that good. His pushback is usually very bad. The main thing he's got going for himself, the main ammunition that he uses in arguments, is an appeal to authority, which is like the idea that I'm a grass-touching, hard-working adult man who is married, and you don't know what you're talking about, and even though I have literally not a single citation or not a single evidence, I know what I'm talking about because I just said that you're wrong and didn't elaborate. And he's not ready for something that basic.
You probably, probably don't. Especially when you don't consider how far back we're talking. We're talking, like several thousand years back when you didn't have sanitation. Even this argument is just dog shit.
Why does this matter in the context of the current conversation?
Was somewhere between 30 years and stillbirth.
I wonder what helped that.
What would help that? Some way to cope.
I think his assumption is that somehow religion caused that.
Religion didn't fucking cause material scarcity and technological, the early technological developments. Those were without them. The Dark Ages. Oh my god, you fucking moron! What do you know about the Dark Ages?
Dark Ages or some kind of religious bullshit that don't make new technology or some shit.
Jesus.
No, that's not accurate.
No, that is so fucking.
Okay, hold on. I can debunk that real quick.
Go ahead.
The Dark Ages, Plushy. What was the Dark Ages known for in terms of like the zeitgeist? In terms of
we're not being harsh on Crow right now. Crow's a fucking idiot. Why did some random person just jump in a debate and turn this from a 1v1 with moderators to a 2v1 with moderators? What happened here?
What was common in that era?
You give me some pinpoints on that.
Knights, weaponry, armor, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The forefront of human technology at any age is war. They created a lot of new stuff during the Dark Ages, and most of it was how to annihilate.
There was a suppression of certain. No, the Dark Ages was due to a suppression of other, belief systems other than Catholicism.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what you don't understand is Catholicism, but I actually made a lot of fucking developments during that time.
I'd also like to mention during the Dark Ages, with the rise of Islam in the Middle East, they made a lot of advancements in astronomy because they had to know where Mecca was. There's also that, and also
they also made the toilet.
Yeah.
What kind of resumes are you rejecting, Coops?
That too, and advancements in mathematics. That's not very accurate at all, Plushie.
Yeah, what you understand is the Dark Ages, that stupid fucking graph you see posted all over the place, where it's like, oh, technological progress, yada yada, and then it drops. No, it actually is more like, oh, sort of a flat line, sort of an increase, and then it started going back up exponent or geometrically.
All right,
but no, it wasn't a regression. If anything, it was just a stagnation of things other than the status quo.
Well, we could get into that more, and again, that's why I'm not arguing a lot of these with him, because we'd be here a while. Let's go ahead and give Monstrous her due, because she's been waiting very patiently.
Go ahead.
know that I'd say it's patiently. Okay, so I'd like to point out that I have gamed for most of my adult life, well into my mid-teens. So I'd like to point out I have done a lot of competitive matches. Specifically, about 2 years ago, I played roughly 2.5 years of competitive Overwatch, and I can tell you from experience that having one person muted does not affect your competition or your ability to compete at all. What does affect your competition is someone screaming in your ear because you can no longer focus. I'd also like to point out that the
Why is everyone so bad at this? It's so weird, man. Muting your teammates absolutely affects the competitive angle. The issue is whether not muting them wouldn't affect it more because they're not really interested in communicating when they're yelling slurs at you. That doesn't mean that not muting them doesn't affect anything. It just means that it's like sort of a pros and cons list, right? Like if you don't mute them, it's not gonna end up well for you. So you might as well take the smaller L, mute them, and just move on with your life. It's, bro.
Article that I posted for Whom the Gamer Trolls, that was actually a study that was conducted by Riot on roughly 10,000 League players who had all experienced some form of toxicity in their game. Their findings found that trolls are literally just one-off people who had really bad days. So removing VC from competitive matches, it doesn't matter whether it's competitive on a big screen in a gigantic, I don't know, convention hall, or whether it's competitive in that you're ranking up. That sort of trolling is literally just a one-off.
Another thing, Anadil, it's not just that it's weird, it's that, like, this is useless. The conversation is about the Deakin person who was made, like, an ambassador of the Twitch's fucking safety guidelines thingamajig, and whether she can competently do that job. I cannot express with words in any of the languages that I speak, which is only 2 of them, to be fair, how little I give a fuck about this angle of the conversation. Bring it back to the actor. There are 2 moderators. There are 2 moderators here, and they're talking about something that doesn't make sense, and they're having call-ins in the middle of a debate. Just bring it back to the point and stay on the point. And this is only 10 minutes long. Sorry, we've only got 20 minutes left on this.
Not help to remove VC. You're still going to experience some form of harassment, whether it's VC or whether it's in text. And this is from 2 separate games whose primary communication are 2 different types, one being text and the other being voice. You're going to experience it no matter what. You muting them doesn't affect them because there's still other ways to play, including the fact that all competitive video games have the ability to ping. So you don't need to talk to other people. Does it help? Absolutely. Is it going to bring you down if you mute everybody? Probably not. That's all I wanted to say.
That's pure
cap you know that it would help in a competitive setting, and that you know that it would help in a competitive setting to have people to talk with. Yet having those without those people, you don't see how it would be a disadvantage. How to have
how often have you received any sort of harassment online? I'd love to know. You being you.
Oh, no, hold on, don't. Yeah, but she is gonna gish gallop, and they're just gonna get away with it. She said that being able to talk to your teammates is an advantage, but not being able to talk to them is not a disadvantage. That makes no fucking sense. Like, no one cares about this.
In a competitive match setting.
Okay, I'm zooming past this shit. I don't care.
Damage.
They're all shit at the base, by the way.
Like, isn't already won't impairment.
Not a recent debate. For context, hey guys, a few things I need to say. This actually
fuck up
still power. and people like Jason.
Why did it just restart?
For example,
Fuck.
Since
it just restarted the debate for me. I don't want to do that.
Actually, do the. It's already been.
Rendering. God damn it.
Okay, there we go. We're being kicked out.
Yeah, you guys gotta yeet.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, sorry, Rendrick. All right.
You have to groom me later.
God damn it! Shut the fuck up. All right. Let's get on to the second topic at hand, and then we'll. I guess we'll end this off.
All right. So the topic at hand is Plushie discussing, critiquing somebody's art, and I'm going to go ahead and pass the image to Stalin. Plushie should be familiar with it. It was the main image he used on his video, his first video about this, which is what we'll be referencing in this case. Let me go ahead and pass that on to Stalin. He can put that on screen so everybody can see it. And I'll wait for that to be on screen on my end.
Stalin is the mediator. I know a lot about Stalin, and he ain't mediating shit. Okay?
Hurry up, Stalin. My dad.
You must entertain the audience while word noises. These are words. This guy is talking hard.
There we go.
There you go. Okay. There you go. I have my mic muted, by the way. My apologies.
Okay, so why don't you tell me what your argument is here? Because I watched your video, but I want you to go ahead and restate it. That way we don't have any unclear statements here. What is your argument against what's being put in this image?
Hey,
I'll pass it to you, just to be on the safe side, because I don't know if you have your stuff ready to go here. Boom. I'll send it to Coyote. Boomst. Rory, Rory, it's not time yet.
It's not time. Rory, it's not time. Okay.
I moved him.
I gotta turn it back down to 4. All right, it's back down to 4.
Okay, so Plushie, are you there?
Oh, fair enough, Eli. If it's Dave, then Dave is a chill dude.
Plushie. Bro?
Ground control to Major Tom.
Okay.
Every time with these people, man. Every time.
Well, I mean, if he doesn't... Oh, he just deafened himself. I'm guessing that his mom just walked in.
All right, we'll give him a moment then.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and run over some of this. His issue is he does not think that... There you are. Okay. Tell me what your argument against this piece is, since I'm sure the chat hasn't watched your video, and I want to give a fair end on you here on what your thoughts are on this.
Biggest problem with the art piece is that it's whining about criticism, begging for sympathy, trying to get sympathy without properly addressing it. If it was an art piece properly addressing the criticism without, making a straw man and some shit, I would be perfectly fine.
Hold on, what is this? I'm gonna big screen it just for a sec so we can look at what the fuck it is. Okay, so that was not a good idea. Hold on, we're gonna stick to it this way. Drawing boys, hot, more, daddy, sexy, fuck me, JoJo reference. Drawing girls, sexist, fatphobe, stop sexualizing, why are men dash, where her organs at? Oh, okay. It's like you can't draw female characters without sexualizing them argument. All right, I'm on board now. I'm back.
Okay, do you have evidence that it's a straw man?
Evidence that it's a straw man?
Did you cut out?
The statements it says are generalized statements from critics, people criticizing the art. It's been seen multiple times over before. You probably it'd be a hard way to show evidence of it.
Here's the thing: every single one of these statements I've seen, and I've seen them in criticism of these images. I've seen people call it sexist. I've seen people call it fatphobic. I've seen people screaming, "Stop sexualizing XYZ thing." I've heard the "Why are men allowed to draw? Why are men allowed to animate?" And where her organs at is a common thing. It's so common at this point; it's being lampooned.
And this picture is really generalizing those statements because most of those complaints have a lot more nuance to them that's not really shown.
Do you have one?
For example, the whole sexist thing. Generally, when women are sexualized, they're given no personality. They're just made to be a sex object, and that's the big problem. If people were, I don't have anything wrong with like sexy art and shit. It's just like when it's given no like personality and no like artistic, like good artistic intent. And it's just like it's just this piece of art just to be just sexy and that's it. And that's kind of lazy. That's kind of like making a sex object. And that's kind of objectifying women and
Okay,
whatnot.
real quick, we're talking about an image of a drawn woman. So, how can you give a drawing the personality and autonomy you're talking about when it's just a simple drawing?
Well, simple, simple, like fucking, I don't know, fucking. You know how a character like Garfield will like give a little smirk to the camera, like a little sarcastic smirk to the camera. Give it some facial personality, like some great expressions and shit. Not just the like generic sexy bullshit or whatever.
But
like
the claim is that it is sexist,
Oh, God.
not just that it is sexy. Now, granted, that's followed up in stop sexualizing, but the claim sexist. What is sexist about a drawing like this?
It's an objectifying drawing of women with like nothing, like no personality, just an objectifying picture of a woman.
But you can't really do personality other than, of course.
I fucking failed the bet. Oscar, why did you tell me to bet? You arsehole.
General looks. You're talking about turning it into a sex object, which it's literally a drawing. That's what it is, Plushie. You're complaining about it being what it is.
Yeah, but my point is, as an art piece, when making like a not safe for work art piece, you gotta put some like personality into it, or it will just be sex object. It's fine to make a sex object, an object. Check the drawings that's meant to be sexy and appeal to people, but you got to have more to it, or it's just lazy and objective.
You don't have to have more to it, actually. It can just be lazy, and it can just be like objectifying, and sometimes you just want to look at a hot character being hot. I don't mean to click confirm, by the way. Like, and this goes both ways. This is for like male fan art, and this is for female fan art. You can just do that. Not everything has to have like a broader point. Sometimes you just want to look at tits or like abs. Right? Or like someone's gigantic fucking schlong. My girlfriend can relate to that last one, okay? Because I am packing chat.
Objectifying and just
but
that.
You're not giving anything though. You're not telling an actual critique here. You're just saying.
She looked at me and she doesn't agree. Unfortunately, it's rough out here, chat. Should have held that one. I should have held that one chambered when she wasn't in the room, and then you'd never know.
You should do X, but you're not saying what X is. You're not giving examples.
I think I can give this a little bit better direction. Why is it, and this is based off of my interpretation of this image here, and I think this is just to give it a bit better direction, why would it be acceptable to objectify one of them and not objectify the other, when they're both intended to be objectified by their nature?
Okay, here's the thing. When most people make these drawings of a sexy woman and a sexy man, the man is obviously depicted as strong. Now, I'm bisexual, and typically I'm not a fan of strong, muscular guys. They're not sexually appealing. It takes more than that to be sexually appealing. And the problem, and like I said, the whole power fantasy thing.
The power fantasy is a false equivalence, and I can flat out tell you why it is.
Oh, go ahead. I hope I bet I've heard it before.
First and foremost, for it to be power fantasy, you were assuming intent. You can say that about certain things. A good example that I think some people here will get, Masters of the Universe. It is intended, He-Man and Masters of the Universe is intended to be a power fantasy in the sense of they saw that kids didn't like everybody else being in charge of them, so the catchphrase was, I have the power. He-Man is an empowerment character. He is a power fantasy. That's why he exists in the way he is, right? That they have stated not just on paper, but in interviews and everything else. But your argument here is that it's power fantasy. You can't show that intent because the artist isn't saying that. Secondly,
also, I don't even understand what the point. Can someone steal man Crow's point? Because I don't understand what Crow meant. That like it showcases power. Like, yeah, usually that's what that's the thing that you objectify about men, right? Like the physical prowess. Much in the same way how like the objectification is very surface level. Well, that's the point. It's a drawing. You make it for that reason. I don't understand the point he was making.
There's also the fact that a lot of women do find these type of bodies sexually appealing. And we see that not only in people like Jason Momoa, Chris Evans, literally any other man that plays any character in Marvel or DC live action films, but we also see it in Harlequin romance novels. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and post these in the chat. I'm going to send them to Stalin first so we can put them on screen, and I can make him super uncomfortable.
Oh, guys, it's not Stalin. It's Stalin, okay? It's his French cousin. It's all good. I was too hasty. It's okay.
That's just fun.
Of course you will.
Yeah, but the thing about those images, it is not, like I said earlier, just sexualizing a character is the problem. You see, these characters, these strong muscular men, yes, they're sexualized, but there's an element of power fantasy in them as well. They're strong, they're powerful. If there was a sexualized image of a woman and she had muscles, that'd be fine, huh? But
no, this is a dog shit argument. This is oh boy, this is a dog shit argument. This is just ignorant of how we do intersectionality in general. And it's also in a way, kind of fucked up if you think about it a little bit deeper. Because the implication here is that like the archetype of femme fatale doesn't exist, right? Like there is no power fantasy in looking incredibly attractive and like very curvaceous and like at the top of your game, so to speak, in terms of where our beauty standard is at. And because if you look that way, then you are nothing more but eye candy. There is no power associated with that. But if you had muscles, then all of a sudden like that one's okay. I don't like these kinds of arguments. I don't like it when people try and be so progressive that they like do a fucking hardcore parkour and wind up being sexist. I don't know. I don't jive with it.
Do you not think really slender types that aren't very
do you not think a woman with strong sexual features, that's not a form of power fantasy?
I do not think that's a form of power fantasy.
Oh, you are in for a rough awakening.
Okay. I can imagine someone like, yeah, wanting to be sexy would be great and all, but where's the power? Where's the strength? Where's the ability to overpower someone?
This is such a one-dimensional dogshit analysis from Crow.
Ever seen what a woman that's really attractive can do to a social situation? Have you ever seen the actual power
that's
wheel?
Less of power, and that's more of
that's still power.
Using charm.
That's not even using. That's still power. A woman with sexual charisma has power that men often don't.
Sure, that's power, but that's more of brains, and that can't be shown in a drawing. How people will show their muscles and flex it to show their strength.
Not only it can, but it can actually be done really, really tastefully in a way that would alleviate the earlier criticism that he had, which is that a lot of these drawings have no character. Like a lot of Bayonetta's fan art might actually be a really good example of this, especially when it's stuff like. A lot of it just exudes like this type of like femme fatale confidence type of thing. But I don't know, Crow is just not good at this.
Strength than shoves.
I would actually like to interject here, and this is just simply to point out something like Macbeth, where it displays male power physically, but it also shows, I think, through Lady Macbeth, the actual power that a female holds in a lot of these regards that Leo's demonstrating here or arguing here. So I do think he's making a good point, Leo. I mean,
yeah. And again,
that dates back very far. Like Macbeth, I don't even know when that play was written. It's written by Shakespeare, I believe.
Go ahead. Did we lose him?
I think we lost him again. I gotta wait for his internet to repair itself.
Kevin McLeod playing in the background, that elevator music everybody hates. You know the I Hate Everything intro song?
Yes.
Sing 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
what the fuck?
He's back.
I don't know why it's fucking cutting out and shit. That's so annoying.
All right.
By the way, whoever named me Groomy Coyote, I will find you, I will hunt you down, and I will do nothing, and I will probably just be very impotent and angry.
What's with the grooming thing?
Anyways, what you're saying?
Doing something bad, Coyote?
Everything cut out on you?
Yeah, I'm okay. Am I still here?
Yeah, you're still here. I'm asking what you were saying.
Anyways, like I was saying, the whole thing. Okay. If there was
actually, that's a really fun way of putting it, Oski. Women can stop being sexualized if we just draw them with the man's ideal of power. Hey, Underground fan, how you doing? YouTube chat is popping off. Twitch chat is ashamed. We've got Underground fan in the YouTube chat. What do we have in the Twitch chat, guys? Nothing. Yeah, get wrecked.
Like an art piece of a woman using her power, using her good looks to persuade someone to do something, that would be fine. But these art images don't do that. A simple strong man can show off the power fantasy enough. Just strength is good enough power fantasy. But for using the
I'm all right. What are you watching? We are watching an old debate between Lio Convoy and some random fella who is... They're both really shit at debating, but the random guy is particularly shit at debating. It's like a guilty pleasure type of a watch. This is old, but given that Lio's personality literally doesn't change over the years, it's kind of insightful in a way that I hate and adore at the same time.
Power of sex for persuasion and stuff, that takes a bit more. Just a sexy woman doesn't do that.
Well, more importantly, having a bodybuilder body doesn't necessarily equate to strength. People who are actually in strongman competitions, literally for strength, don't look like bodybuilders do. They look like they have massive pecs and dad bods. These are people who literally pull buses with their raw power. So that's inconsistency on your end.
That's not like a really common ideal to most people, though.
I think it is. You just don't know, and that's fine. I don't expect you to know everything, but that's how the real world operates. Now, I think you're absolutely wrong here, and even again, Jason Momoa blows that entire argument completely out of the water, even for bisexuals. Norden is probably drooling somewhere now that I've said that, but
you had me at Chris Evans.
Right, but the image that you had put up there, go ahead and put it back up there, Stalin. The initial image. You said some other things here I would like to take you to task over.
I wish people would do this a little bit less. I don't understand why this conversation's about sexualizing the drawings of women, right? Whether you can do fan art of women or do drawings of women without sexualizing them. And they're like bringing up Jason Momoa and shit. Like, I understand why, but what's the fucking point? Can we just stick to the actual topic? Why do none of these people prep for their own fucking arguments? I must be nothing to Chris. House, you are forever in my heart, okay, my fellow Polish fella. But at the same time, you're like fake Polish, okay? You just claim to have the genes. You're gonna do what Sproutakers did to me, and you're gonna like put your hand on my shoulder, and you're gonna be like, I can relate to your everyday struggles because I am a 5th generation immigrant. I can already sense that that's what you would do, Hoss. You seem like that type of fella, you know? Like, oh, I relate. I'm a 5th gen, right? Like, we're talking about consoles and shit.
But first, we need to wait for Stalin to put it back up. He didn't post all the images I sent him either because he's very uncomfortable with it, and I think it's hilarious.
Oh, okay, the one with the drawing of. Okay, let me put it back up real quick.
Yeah,
there it is. It's back up.
Okay,
I want to point out the chat real quick though. We do not shame dad bods here.
Correct. I mean, you can. But
all right, let's get back up.
You made a claim in your video that the girl had bad anatomy. I would like you to tell me exactly how the anatomy is bad.
Those long, like really thinnish arms, they kind of look creepy. The fact that the belly button is not where it's supposed to be, and it just generally kind of looks generic too. Not only does it look bad, but it looks generic as well.
Well, we're talking about her anatomy, not the genericness of it, because it's literally nothing.
Well, yeah. Like I said, the long and gated arms and the misplacements of a belly button, kind of looks creepy-ish.
I want to know where the fuck the idea that drawings are supposed to look realistic came from in the first place when it comes to all of these arguments. Because I am as primed as a man can be to be sympathetic to the like women constantly get sexualized angle of the argument, because they do. It happens all the time. I want to understand where Crow's coming from, but not only is he making shit arguments, it's just, bro, art is... It's just weird. Like, it's not supposed to be a one-to-one realistic showing of what a woman looks like. That's why it's art. That's why it's a sketch. It's a drawing. The idea of like, where are her organs? Nowhere. They don't exist. They don't exist.
Okay, but looking creepy doesn't mean that it's anatomically inaccurate. No, I'll give you the belly button. You are correct on that, but I'm gonna have Stalin throw this up, and I'm gonna wait for him to put that on screen.
Okay, I'll grab that real quick. All right, this is on screen now. I'll put this, put this off to the bottom left, I guess.
I'll wait until it shows on my screen so Plushie can see it better.
There it is.
Okay, Plushie, I want you to tell me if the girl on screen is real.
Well, I'm assuming so, but have you ever seen a person with like long and gated thin arms plus the other body parts like the thick waist and stuff? No, you haven't. I don't think
that's literally what.
Yeah, maybe if I did see women that look like that, I would look at them and not the drawing. Like, has that dawned on anyone? It's such a... And also, I am absolutely certain that women who have this body type exist. As rare as they might be, this is such a bizarre argument. And it's bizarre because, again, like I said earlier, it winds its way into being this weird thing where if a chick who looks like this is watching, then, like, he's just bullying her for no fucking reason.
On the screen, and to that point,
that's not the same thick waist and like same body line
and I'm gonna
curved image and stuff. That's not the same.
I'm about to prove it.
Yeah.
Well,
All right, Stalin, go ahead and put that on screen.
Okay. Let me pull that in my folder. I have to constantly delete these and get rid of these two, and...
That tiny doesn't have muscles.
Alright, and it's now on screen.
Alright, we'll have to give it a minute.
There it is.
Yeah, the only difference Plushie is in physically how she's standing. Because I can't obviously manipulate that, but the hips to waist ratio is the same, the waist to bust ratio is the same, The hip width is the same. The arms in width. In fact, the real person
what are
has
you
skinnier
doing?
arms.
Her shoulders are like a fucking times and a half as wide. This is so, on top of this being so weird, it's also just not these people, man. These people. They could have left it at artistic liberties. They could have left it without like starting this conversation.
To the art piece. And they're just as long.
So yeah, that basically just proved your point, Moot, Plushie.
Okay, I guess I'll concede on that point. I guess
Now,
it is okay anatomy. It's still kind of look.
Now, here's the thing: when you're drawing, if you have an understanding of anatomy as an artist, you can mess with it, manipulate it for characterization, stylization. The problem is if you draw a sexy girl, where are her organs doesn't mean dick, and it doesn't mean dick because number one, it's fictional. She has no organs to begin with. Now, if the person didn't have an understanding of anatomy, and it was an art teacher saying, all right, where's the bicep, the tricep, the lats, the neck muscles? Where are her proper pectorals? Where is her navel? Where's her rib cage? Those are proper critiques that an artist would give either to another artist or to a student. What you did in your video and what is being referred to here isn't that.
I'd admit the whole where her organs things is more of a hyperbolic statement that shouldn't be used in a real critical argument, and I will admit that's probably one stupid line I will admit is generally stupid criticism. Sure, it has basis in reality of true criticism, but it's just a hyperbolic version of it, and it's not fair criticism.
Well, my point is your entire video wasn't really addressing fair criticism. It's you angry that people are reacting.
Does anyone have that? Beetle, do you have that video? The Deviant Crows video? I want to watch it now. I feel like that might be, depending on how long it is, that might be way more fun. Well, to be fair, this debate is about to end as well, because Crow's internet drops out again.
To these things, and the truth is...
And they're reacting to it poorly.
Well, the thing is, all these things on screen...
Whoa, Eli, are you implying that wrist cell maxing is not a thing? Bro, do you know anything about anything? Are you slandering my incel bros over here? Do you not know that the size of your wrist is directly correlative with the girth of your balls? Which is directly correlative with then the girth of your absolute cock? Like, man, these are important things, okay? Have you not read the fucking incel.io? If you have skinny wrists, it's it. It's Jova, my dude. There is no tomorrow. There is only sadness, okay? Might as well give it a couple of years. Try and fucking employment max. Raise as much money as possible. And once we have prosthetic cocks from Cyberpunk 2077, you can just install one of those bad boys in there. Yeah, it's true, Oski. It's true. I'm telling you. It's what the incels have told me. They would never lie to me, man.
Have been things that have been shouted at these people, and they're not there for actual critique. They're there because people are mad
the argument, though.
What?
Yeah, but the image is overgeneralizing the argument. There's more nuance to these comments if people would just engage and ask instead of actually address the criticism and try to engage in it instead of making a whining art piece saying, "Oh, boo-hoo, I've gotten this criticism before."
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say that you're incorrect because I've seen these arguments. These aren't people who are, especially things like where are her organs and what.
What is girth? Like 70% size of the wrist. It's your big toe squared. But sideways, okay? If it's anything less than that, then you will never satisfy a woman, okay? You have to have at least 18 centimeters girth. I can't help you otherwise, Oski, you know? Like, if it's not at least 20 centimeters long, then what are you even doing with your life? Don't tell me, Oscar, that you're not doing dick elongation exercises every morning when you wake up. Did you know that you can get yourself like a 5 kilo, you can start off with 125, then 2.5, then 7.5, 5, 7.5, 10. You basically tie it to a string and then you tie it to the tip of your cock, and the idea is to get a boner so raging that it lifts up the weight. Until you can, if you can't do it, you need to lower the weight. But you have to keep trying, Oski. This is important, like this is important shit. You're supposed to know all of this. 300% girth to wrist. Bro, I'm trying to imagine what it would be like to have a cock that's 3 times as thick as your wrist. You would not be able to have sex. Like, it would just be painful for the woman. I would hate... Imagine having that bad boy and getting like a random boner in public. You'd knock someone out by an accident. That would be so bad, so uncomfortable. Imagine you're in a maths, like a maths fucking exam, and you get a random boner, and such an incredible amount of blood is required down there that like you're unable to think. No-handed push-up, yeah. But like not in a good way, man. It's just, that would be just bad. I don't have to imagine getting a boner during a maths exam. True. Bro, I swear to God, though, no, never mind. We're going to do this argument at some point in the future, okay? I found out the funny way that men literally cannot think when they have a rager. No, it's not that we cannot think. It's just some of us are cursed with massive cocks. And then when that happens, obviously the blood is elsewhere and it's a very complicated situation.
Why are men? Because that's usually why are men allowed to draw women? Why are men allowed to animate?
Thank you very much, Beetle. We're going to watch
That's not a nuanced argument. That's not somebody trying to start a conversation. That's somebody with a hot take because they're angry, because something's not done in a way they like. That's not proper critique. That's not lacking nuance. There's no.
So the why men are allowed to draw thing is more of a joke.
I don't believe you, Plushie. I don't believe you because you have no source for that.
Oh, I don't necessarily have.
You've got no source for that being a joke. Oh no. Oh no, what is wrong with these people? Why does he need a source for that? You would need an example of somebody who doesn't consider it a joke for that argument to make like a fucking shred of sense.
I have a joke for it, but I am in most of the leftist communities, and most of the time they say it's a joke. Just like the "oh man, I hate cis people" thing. That's more of a joke than anything.
Plushie, I'm also in lefty communities. I don't know about that, buddy.
I actually wanted to just stop right here and just point out that based on the drawing itself, what we're looking at are criticisms based on preference, which means these are not meant to help the artist grow. These are meant to express either, they prefer the way this guy is drawn or they do not prefer the way this girl is drawn, which means these are subjective preferences of people who did not create this work and do not have a say in how this artist is creating the work. So it's not in my opinion, the argument of criticism itself, it needs to be sort of around that this is a subjective like playing field here that they're addressing in this piece.
Well, most criticisms are subjective though in some way.
Let me rephrase then. Subjective towards the preference of the viewer and not necessarily something that can actually help construct and build up the artist towards the way that the artist wants to build himself up.
Correct. And also
preferences that are solely existent within the viewer themselves.
So yeah, that's kind of it. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you like the art used in the thumbnail, a link to the artist, Missy Drip, is in the description. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Okay, and now the video that sparked this. Let's see how long it is. Oh, it's 5 minutes. Brilliant. 5 minutes, 26 seconds. Let's fucking go. Wait, have you guys...
Oh, man,
have you not been seeing the game this entire time? Could have told me that, chat. There's a reason why this is so small over here. I've been playing the game the entire time.
Sure am. Oh man, I sure am getting tired of seeing this one post again and again made by several artists, but with different art, of course. The bitching and boo-hooing about, oh, people are criticizing my art. Oh, it's so hard on me. I have to get criticism like, every artist does. These kind of artists cover up the fact they don't like getting criticism with stupid bullshit. Like trying to point out a double standard that doesn't exist. The first thing they complain about is, oh, they call my art sexist. But isn't this drawing of a man also sexy? Isn't that sexist? Well, here's the difference, dumbass. You see, one's a power fantasy. Let's take JoJo's Bizarre...
I fucking hate the inflection. I can't get over it. I hear it and I just want to... I have aggressive thoughts and I don't like those. Just listen to the way he talks.
See, isn't that sexist? Well, here's the difference, dumbass.
Every time is that at the end of every single fucking like the inflection where he does it. He can't just say dumbass. He has to do a dumbass, and it's just over and over again. It sounds like he's being dicked down, and I just focus on the video.
You see, one's a power fantasy. Let's
power fantasy.
Take JoJo's Bizarre
I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna start doing that until someone makes me stop.
Adventure as an example. Now, I don't watch that show, but I know it has a lot of strong men. The reason they have strong characters is because it's cool.
Hold on. Now I'm minimizing the game. I'm fucking locked in now. Every time he does that, I'm gonna do it as well.
To see. It's a fantasy with power, a power fantasy. And even if you check out the power fantasy thing, you can only say, oh man, this guy is strong. He has power. Meanwhile, drawing with this body figure and for mostly like sexual purposes can be seen as, you know, just drawing a sex object. Now, I'm not.
You hear it, right? This isn't just me.
I'm not saying drawing porn is inherently bad because you're creating sex objects, but at least be fucking honest about it. Sex objects, but at least be fucking honest about it.
Is he jacking off in the background to this?
You're creating sex objects, but at least be fucking honest about it.
At least be fucking honest about it. Every time. He's just moaning now.
They call me a fatphobe. No, they fucking don't. Most of the time when I see bullshit posts like this, no one's complaining about, oh, you're a fatphobe. People are complaining that you gave your like little to no fucking girth or weight to her. You gave her unrealistic anatomy. Where
anatomy?
Are her organs at? They always ask me that. It's so unfair. No, it's fucking not. It's legitimate criticism. You ever heard of, anatomy? That's one of the things they teach you in like art school and shit. Or when you learn to draw, you want to learn to draw good anatomy. And,
it's these people think they're like, it's leftist praxis. It's lefty praxism to imply that you need to have gone to art school to do a drawing. Yeah, Eli, anatomy.
People can actually criticize you for having shit anatomy. You may have heard that this is unrealistic anatomy, and that's because it is. Well, it's somewhat realistic. You can probably get it with like plastic surgery, but you can't realistically get it. Well, what about this muscular?
What was that sentence, Chief?
Body type? Well, first, it's actually okay anatomy. I can visualize this having fucking organs, so there's not a double standard there. Although this body type is hard to get, and for some it's impossible because some people don't have that body type, it's at least more.
Do you know what this there is a perfect edit just waiting to be done, and I lack the IT know-how to get it done. You could literally, what you could do is, as soon as hold on, I'll see if I can time it properly. Bear with me one sec. I need to double check if this is what I'm looking for though. Hold on, I need to time this properly because this is gonna be a challenge, okay, chat? Are you ready for it? Are you listening? We can be vibing. I just need another anatomy from him.
Realistic and looks good. And that's pretty much the gist of all of these fucking pictures. I don't want to get criticism. It's not going to fucking affect you. If you work in any artistic profession, you're gonna get reasonable and unreasonable criticism. Bitching and moaning about it like this is just preaching to the fucking choir. If you don't like getting criticized for this, ignore it. Appeal to your own demographic and never grow. Or you can.
Oh, that was good. That was good. We can go with the grow. I like whatever the fuck happened there. I can do that one. Hold on. Ready for it, chat.
This, ignore it. Appeal to your own demographic and never grow.
And so I wake in the morning and I step outside and I take a deep breath and get real high and loud. Straight to the top of my lungs, what's going on? And I say, hey,
It's that though. It's whatever the fuck is going on to get that song going, that inflection. That's what he's doing.
Or you can actually say, you know what, I'll take those criticisms into consideration and maybe, you know, improve your art.
I'll keep doing it now. I have to. I'm sorry.
But no, pretentious artists, there's a lot of fucking pretentious artists, rather complain that they're getting harsh criticism. Oh, boo fucking who? Now, I can understand criticizing critique. I do that a lot. However, there's a difference between critiquing someone's criticisms and whining about getting them. You're not saying, well, actually, this critique is wrong. You're just going like, I can't believe I'm getting this criticism. Double standard without, you know, going on about it. And I know it's a Twitter post. You can't really do much with just a single Twitter post or even a drawing that matter to do it. But if you can't do it well, then don't do it at all.
What is going on, little bro?
But if you can't do it well, then don't do it at all.
I can't stop. I need to get to the bit. I can't stop the song before the bit. I love that song so much. It's so stupid, but it's so good.
You know what? Actually, I shouldn't say that. My videos aren't good or very good, but hey, they're good enough. They do what they're meant to do.
They're really not
good enough. But if you can't explain why the criticisms are bad in a good way,
you didn't explain shit.
Then why even fucking do it? But yet again,
that's what I'm saying, Cooper. Yeah, like if somebody could do that, that would be absolutely. I think that would be priceless, man.
Like I said earlier, this isn't to actually, you know, explain why criticism is wrong. It's to get sympathy from other people. It's preaching to the choir without actually addressing those criticisms. It's funnily enough.
That's what you're doing as well. That's literally what he's doing. He's not steelmanning anything. He's not providing further explanation. He's just preaching to the choir.
Just laziness to get likes and retweets from men who feel like their sexualized art is being taken away, even though it's fucking not. You can still make it. You're just getting criticized for it. Boo fucking who? Criticism? Oh, cry me a fucking river.
God, I want to read the comments on this bad boy. Yeah, the comments are not good. Okay, someone's fucking effort posting. Good on you. I love these kinds of people. Did he respond to this? Doesn't look like it. I came to bully you, but honestly, you've done the work for me. Oh, I need to remember this one. This is a good one. Oh, that's fair enough, Beatles. So yeah, Deviant goes by she, her, or they, them. Still, my application of wrong pronouns doesn't change the fact that that was a really, really dogshit video. I kind of want to watch something modern now, just to see kind of what the vibe is. Because, ooh, 60 views, 56 views, 119. I understand, like, don't get me wrong, my shit isn't like flying off the shelves either, but at the same time, oof. It's a bit rough, Chief. Sprite and the age of consent. Let's give it a listen.
You know, this really shouldn't be a topic that I have to talk about, but you know, Elon Musk's new Twitter that seems to be mainly dominated by conservatives seems to be bringing up a lot of high-level discussions. I'm being sarcastic, by the way. They're talking about maybe the age of consent is a little too high. Which, oh boy, I thought that was a libertarian thing, but I guess Republicans are taking more shit from libertarians every day. I find this especially.
I just want to point it out here with this sprite. Where are her organs? Yeah, I mean, yeah, literally.
Ironic considering conservatives.
Was it happening back then too? Cooper, this is a video from 11 days ago. This is as modern as it gets. Oh, you mean the inflections? Yeah, they're still here. They're still here.
Are always the ones to go like, oh, trans people are groomers because they want kids to know that trans people exist, and that's grooming because you know, people might be like, hey, wait a second, I'm trans, I may be trans. They might start thinking things. We don't want them to start thinking things. That's why we keep on fucking trying to defund the public education system. Now, to be fair, I know why they do it. It's projection. Now, I know you guys are gonna snipe in and say, well, that's a bit unfair to say that right-wingers are glorifying pedophilia or suggesting that it's somewhat okay. Well, let me just tell you right now that they are. Here's some clips in pictures.
I think that the whole premise is wrong. I think that the age of
Jesus.
consent should be lower, and it should be more
Fucking
of like
volume control.
An age of marriage thing. And I think we should highly discourage sex outside of wedlock altogether.
It is not. In fact, ever since the beginning of time, teenage girls have been getting pregnant. It used to be more common. The peak, ever since they started keeping records of these things, which they only started...
That is what I mean,
like
Cooper, true.
But ever since they started keeping records, in 1957 was the peak for teenage pregnancy. 1957. Not 2009,
well, back
not
then,
today.
All of them were supposed to have kids. Like, that's when you had kids.
That's my point, okay? So to
Fucking
all of a
Matt
sudden
Walsh,
act
man.
like this phenomenon of girls getting pregnant at a young age that we consider young, 16 or 17, to act like it's a new thing is ridiculous. It's always been that way. Even biologically, and this is me just stating, I'm just, right now I'm going to start by just stating facts. So fact number one, it's not a new phenomenon. Fact number two, in fact, it's a phenomenon that was more common earlier in history, and for, you know, the first 6,000 to 10,000 years of human existence, it was a normal thing. Fact three, girls between the ages of like 17 and 24 is when they're technically...
Bro, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to level with you. Because, and in fairness, this might be, it's sort of like a call, so that if he says anything like particularly outlandish, feel free to like just bring my attention to it in chat. I genuinely struggle to listen to people who make arguments for why age of consent should be lowered. And like, I genuinely just stop listening. Like, I don't care what sort of a rationale you've got going. I don't care what logic you're applying to it. I don't care whether your thinking is sound or not. I obviously disagree with its soundness, but I don't care if you think it's sound. I just think you're a fucking creep. And I don't want to like listen to you. I don't want to spend time thinking about what you're saying. I don't think you're a worthwhile human being if you're arguing for a lowering of age of consent. You know what I mean? Like, bro, this ain't it. Like, Chief, you've got to stop. This is creepy. This is weird. I would not trust my daughter anywhere around you. I would particularly not trust my daughter anywhere around you if she was underage, because you're a creepy fuck. It's just yikes. It's yikes. Thank you for being here, Beetle. I'll be wrapping up soon enough, so you caught most of it. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.
most fertile. Yeah. Okay? That's biological. That's a fact, all right? I'm just stating facts. That's all I'm doing. But what happened recently, and this is the fourth fact, recently in the last 30 years or so,
Based, Johnson,
we decided
based.
that's way too young to start a family.
Why?
And because now
divorce rates would probably go up, and once you're that young, you can't really make sure that
Well,
you know.
no, girls are getting no. Girls were getting married early, and marriages were lasting longer. You very rarely hear about.
Yeah, because she wasn't. Yeah, because the option was either you stay in the marriage or you get beaten to death, depending on the fucking time period, of course, and the sort of cultural. I'm oversimplifying things, but you get what I mean. Like bro, what are you doing?
Like these relationships that go to their what is it, your diamond anniversary, your 50th anniversary, and all this. That's a dying breed of people out there.
Yeah, and those were all people that got married very young. That's why
they're still alive.
Yeah, that's why you can have someone in their 70s who's celebrating their 55th wedding anniversary because they got married when they were teenagers. So what I'm saying is that the problem is not per se teenage pregnancy; it's unwed pregnancy. That's the problem in society. It's only problematic when you are not married and you don't have
True,
a man
endure.
to help you take
Yeah.
care of the kids because he's a coward.
Aced.
And the reason why we have
Very,
that
very,
now
very smart. I would totally trust like the future of my daughter to a man like this. Like, what could go wrong, you know?
in current society, we live in the age of extended adolescence.
Nico, a person infamous for trying to frame trans people as inherently groomers, posted this. Yeah, that's not concerning at all.
To be fair, Sneako's an absolute freak, and I will never understand this man. This is silly though. The idea that this is silly. This idea that the moment the day you turn 18, like everything's a-okay, but a day before someone turns 18, you're a pedophile. This is a weird logic to apply.
This, yeah, that's not concerning at all. We have people on Twitter trying to say that, oh, actually,
Ooh, very nice, Annabelle. That
fantasizing
goes
about
straight into
16-year-old
my
girls
basket.
is actually perfectly normal. No, you fucking sick fuck. And I'll go over later how the whole biological argument doesn't fucking work either. This pretty much revolves around the same thing, but yeah, still disgusting to see. And a whole interesting discussion under this Dextero post. No. Looks like someone needs their hard drives checked. Ooh, the age gap isn't that big. Motherfucker, the age gap is half a decade apart. And of course, people...
Rather than half a decade, because half a decade is actually, in an ether, that's not a big age gap at all. The issue is that one of the people is underage and 16 and the other one's 21. If one person was 30 and the other one's 35, no one would give a fuck. The issue is that 5 years in this context is a third of this person's life. Jesus Christ, we're getting a lot of these best viewers things. What's going on, Shido?
Fucker, the age gap is half a decade apart. And of course, people defending the legality of it, and I'll address why that's not a good argument later. And of course, the worst one of them all. This one, this little number I found. Age of consent enthusiasts. Good to know that Elon Musk's free haven for free speech pretty much allows you to do whatever you want, including endorse pedophilia. Now, before someone comes in with the good old, oh, it actually counts as a phibiophilia, and although that definition does have some use,
Because I can't alt tab right now.
overall that the
I made a
word
mistake.
pedophile still applies, since, you know, that's the popular usage of the word. Anyone under the age of 18, I personally think the distinction doesn't matter, because you're still taking advantage of someone that's extremely vulnerable. Now, I shouldn't have to make a video arguing
What?
against just whatever.
We're rewinding this bad boy.
I'll address why that's not a good argument later. And of course, the worst one of them all. This one, this little number I found. Age of consent enthusiasts. Good to know that Elon Musk's free haven for free speech pretty much allows you to do whatever you want, including endorse pedophilia. Now, before someone comes in with the good old, oh, it actually counts as a phibiophilia, and although that definition does have some use, I think overall that the word pedophile still applies, since, you know, that's the popular usage of the word. Anyone under the age of 18, I personally think the distinction doesn't matter, because you're...
Why would the distinction not matter? Are you saying that you would use the exact same word to describe someone who had sex with a 17-year-old, that's someone who's had sex with a 10-year-old? Are you okay in the head? What the fuck do you mean? This is the same fucking errors I was pointing in this person's like logic style, if you will. Whatever fucking word you want to use for it. It's late. That was happening in like that debate with Lyle years ago. It's still happening right now. This is such a moronic argument. Like, you're trying to do this whole like, yeah, we need to respect the age of consent thing so hard that somehow you're losing people who do actually respect the age of consent in your argument, because you just told me that it doesn't matter to you the age of the person, whether they're 17 or 11 is the same thing as far as the vocabulary that you use. What the fuck?
Still taking advantage of someone that's extremely vulnerable. Now, I shouldn't have to make a video arguing against blatant pedophilia, but let's just do it anyways because it's somewhat of an interesting conversation to have. And apparently, according to Twitter, it's one that we actually need to have. Arguably, the most important one is the power dynamics that are at play. An adult has a lot more legal power. They have a lot more financial power over those that are under the age of 18. Combining that with more life experience, you have a situation where someone could emotionally manipulate someone with far less emotional experience and far less ability to get out of a certain situation. Unfair power dynamics is one of the reasons why.
All of this is absolutely true. Do you think that somebody who's 18 has the same power advantage over a 17-year-old than he does over an 11-year-old? I'm still hung up on the prior argument, because that was a really dog shit thing to say.
Things like zoophilia are also bad. I kind of made a video like that, but it's also kind of bad. An adult and a teenager do not have the same level of authority or power in their own situation. And let's just say, for the sake of the argument, that teenagers and adults had the same amount of power and influence.
Power dynamics as an argument works, Annabelle, when the difference in age is rather extreme. Right? Like the idea, well, it works in many cases, but that's like a very obvious one where it absolutely works, right? Like the difference in the power dynamics when it comes to an adult and a prepubescent child are insane, right? Like that goes without saying. Let's say it goes without saying it. For a lot of these people, it actually kind of needs to be said, apparently. Fuck, this person's not making great arguments, are they? Oh, this sucks so much, man. The concern there is not power dynamics. The concern there is they cannot consent. Sure, but well, power dynamics can still be a part of it, right? Like when you're exploring the reasons why they cannot consent. I wouldn't disregard that argument as a whole. I don't think that'd be my go-to. Usually my go-to is brain development. That tends to be what I focus on when it comes to like all of the arguments of the sort of age of consent variety.
Influence and authority, you know, legally speaking, I still even think then that would be morally wrong. And in other countries,
sure, Annabelle, but so would, in some cases, so would a 15-year-old. That doesn't really mean that like that should happen, right? In this case,
where the age of consent is lower than 18 is like morally repugnant. This is from the University of Rochester Medical.
Wait, hold on. I need to re-listen to that.
Legally speak, amount of power and influence and authority, you know, legally speaking, I still even think then that would be morally wrong. And in other countries where the age of consent is lower than 18 is like
I misheard.
morally repugnant. This is from the University of Rochester Medical Center. And it says plainly put, it doesn't matter how smart teens are or how well they score in the act or act. Good judgment is not something they can excel in. The rational part of a teen's brain isn't fully developed and won't be until the age of 25 or so. In fact, recent research has found that adult and teen brains work differently.
Most of US has age of consent as 16 though, because it's a balance. Not federally, it's 18 though, isn't it? And the only time it's like the option is even on the table for younger is in some case of Romeo and Juliet and some other exceptions. But those exceptions are for other people of that age. At least that was, I'd have to double check because I'm not going to pretend like I'm super knowledgeable on age of consent in America. But I think America, I always thought, is similar to how in Japan people always say that, like, oh, well, in Japan, the age of consent actually is 14. Like, yeah, in some of the prefectures it is, but they have, like, a national one that is 18, and you can't go below that. Not when you're an adult.
Adults think with the prefrontal cortex, the brain's rational part. This is the part of the brain that responds to situations with good judgments and an awareness of long-term consequences. Teens process information with the amygdala. This is the emotional part. In teens' brains, the connection between the emotional part of the brain and the decision-making center are still developing, and not always at the same rate. That's why teens have overwhelming emotional input. They can't explain later what they're thinking. They weren't thinking as much as they were feeling. So, no, it's not a cultural or a legal thing. It's a brain.
We don't have a national age of consent. Don't you have a precedence for meaningful consent and how it's presumed only when the person's 18 or above? That was my understanding, but again, far from an expert on the topic.
Up to the standard that the age of 18 might actually be too low. I could be wrong because I'm not a neuroscientist, but you know, the reason why we have the drinking age at 21 around here is because of the brain's development. That is kind of like the somewhat safest time to do it, and also while still being somewhat early, so I don't see why 21 can't be the one. Yet again, I'm not a neuroscientist, maybe 18 is actually, you know, good enough. But I personally think it's better to have a line in the sand at that time anyways, because, you know, brain development and all that stuff. And before someone tries to bring this as a gotcha, there's a whole hotbed of evidence for why transitioning as a teenager is a good thing. Because, you know, it prevents the risk of suicide at certain age. When you're under the age of 18, you're only taking puberty blockers, something which is reversible. And doing something like transitioning that has been proven to better your life if you need it is not as bad or even on the same or even at all on the same level as being in a sexually abusive relationship. So now the question remains, why do right-wingers seem to talk about this age of consent thing and how it should be lowered to some extent? Why are conservatives known for loving
I can touch
abuses
that
of
one, but
power,
okay.
you know, trying to endorse a position where they could abuse that power? Honestly, I don't know. It's a mystery, and I'm just gonna have to end the video there and say this is gonna be one of those great unsolved mysteries I just don't have an answer for. Well, until next time, I'll see you. I've been Deviant Crow, and I'm gonna go bleach my eyes out.
I don't know. The arguments ain't the best. Baka Oni upped the volume by like 300%. I tried. The thing is, this person's fucking volume control in this video is just dog shit. In my defense, though, I just wanted to check out if their content has changed from the thing from 2 years ago that we've just watched and criticized. And it looks like, unfortunately, he kind of hasn't. I don't know if you're still there, Baka Oni. Sorry for not seeing your message. Yeah, as I was saying earlier at the start of the stream, if anyone knows of like a software or anything that I can use for multi-chat that isn't Restream, I would very much appreciate you sending some names, some links, some anything my way. Because, yeah, it's just... Restream ain't good, man. It's many things. And I don't really have anything good to say about it. It's just... In federal law, it is illegal to have sex with someone under 16 unless you're within 4 years of age of the person, but there is no statute that says age of consent. Yeah, but the American law doesn't just rely on whether there is a specific statute. You have court precedent, and my understanding was that you have a thing in your courts that is the implied meaningful consent. And when someone is under the age of 18, the implied meaningful consent is never assumed, and you need extra factors in order for that age of consent to be there, beyond that person just saying yes. But again, I'm not an expert on any of this. Not in the American, well, actually, not in any of them. Even the Japanese prefecture stuff, I kind of just know off the top of my head because it's been brought up in like some lolly conversations that I've heard. Fuck, I kind of don't want him. What I want is Verena. I'm gonna take fragments now. See if I can get a different companion in a sec. The courts will use past history to determine that. Yeah, but in that case, wouldn't something like the parents being like very angry over that happening be... Jesus Christ, got fucking wrecked, didn't I? Fuck, I'd have to read into it. Are you okay, Johnson? You having a moment there, buddy? Deep breaths. We're all in this together. It's okay, Chief. It's okay. Just remember that you're loved and appreciated, even if you make no fucking sense. I need to make sure that I do this before the time expires. All right, chat. Here's the thing. I was going to do a shorter stream today, and we ended up doing regular length to the regular streams. I'm going to call it a day here, because I'm, you know, tired as hell. And it's so fucking boiling here, it's unbelievable. What we're going to do is we're going to raid into Saku, because I can see that he's live. And tell him that this is a hate raid, and that I am sending bad vibes his way, and that he is very, very bad at Souls games. All of those things, remember, they're important, okay? This is a hate raid. We hate that, man. Let's go. Good night, and I'll see you next week.